They say this mountain is cursed.
That rock just landed right there.
The Apache called it the Devil's Playground, a place where spirits roam freely, and something ancient guards this land.
What?
Yes.
Serious?
What the fuck?
The Pima believed it was a portal, a doorway to the underworld, and they warned people, never go in alone, especially after dark.
Superstition Mountain is behind me. It looks so ominous in the dark.
People used to laugh at those warnings, called them superstitious.
Okay. I'm a little spooked.
That's how this place got its name, Superstition Mountain. And the stories, they haven't stopped.
I don't know if I'm hearing something behind me or not.
People go missing here. Hikers still talk about phantom footsteps circling their camps at night.
There's been so many times I hear footsteps running up to the golf cart. That's usually a ghost sign to get the hell out of here.
Rocks thrown from nowhere, whispers from the brush, the feeling that something's watching you just beyond the firelight.
And I put it in, there's something out there.
Some say the mountain plays tricks on you, makes your compass spin, makes you see things that aren't there and miss things that are. Others say it doesn't matter what you believe, because once you're inside, the mountain already knows you're here. And if it doesn't want you to leave, you won't.
Grab the lantern.
All right.
I hear something running.
So naturally, I thought it'd be a good idea to go and spend the night at the most haunted mountain in America.
Don't get too far behind me, like 10 feet.
Looking back, we probably should have seen it coming. The signs were all there. We just didn't know what we were walking into until it was too late. I'll never forget it. I had just gotten back from Ohio where I'd interviewed Dale Harder, the former NASA engineer from the last episode. And it was around that time that my channel hit 100,000 subscribers. So when I got my play button, I figured that it'd be really cool to go and unbox the play button at the base of Superstition Mountain, one of the most legendary and iconic monuments just outside of Phoenix.
Damn.
You blinded me with it.
Blinding you. Presented to Mindfucked with Patrick James for passing 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Wow.
That's when things took a slightly unexpected turn. As my buddy was recording me on his phone, a voice that I didn't recognize showed up on the video.
Oh yeah, buddy.
And it said, "To Shaw." And I actually had to rewind the video, enhance the audio, and replay it multiple times just to make sure that I wasn't hearing things. So now I had to figure out, what does "To Shaw" even mean? So I Googled it, and it turns out that "To Shaw" is Chinese for to massacre, which was very on brand for the Superstition Mountain. So at that moment, I immediately knew what our next So Weird story had to be. An overnight investigation at Superstition Mountain. And given this would be my first ever paranormal investigation on this channel, as a kid who's always been obsessed with the paranormal, I had a very specific vision. I wanted to make the most cinematic paranormal investigation ever at the most haunted place on Earth. Think Cowboys and Aliens meets Blair Witch. I could already see it. Golden hour shots of us saging ourselves off right before sunset, walking into the darkness with a lantern and those creamy anamorphic flares. I figured if we were gonna get haunted anyways, we might as well make it look good. And this was gonna look amazing. A Western sci-fi horror film on YouTube. All I needed was a spirit box, a new camera lens that would be perfect for the job, and a lantern that would make our trek into the darkness so cinematic. So I pre-arranged a shoot date with the Superstition Mountain Museum, which is right at the base of the mountain, and they offered to give us private overnight access to the entire property. And I was also hoping to maybe talk to someone who worked there so they could hopefully tell us a little bit more about what makes this place so creepy. The plan was simple. We'd arrive during the day, grab as much B-roll as humanly possible, interview Steve, the property manager out there, and then when the sun went down, we'd investigate overnight and hopefully walk out at sunrise with our heads still attached. But the day before we went out there, Chris, my videographer from the last video, he came over to my place and I hopped on Zoom with Dale Harder, the NASA engineer from Ohio, just to catch up a little bit. Dale, how have you been since we last saw you in Ohio?
Awesome, Patrick. Awesome. I'm hanging in.
And when I told him what Chris and I had planned for the next day, turns out Dale happened to know quite a bit about Superstition Mountain himself. And then on Saturday, this is one I'm really worried about. We're going out to the Superstition Mountain. Have you heard about that one?
Yes, I have. Sure.
What do you know about the superstitions? And what he told me, I honestly wasn't expecting, because one of the things he specifically warned me about was something that he called the little people.
Well, the Superstition Mountains are most widely known by most people probably for treasure hunters. You know, the Superstition Mountain treasure. And there are little people, as it were, they're similar to what the Irish call the She. And they are spirit folk that the Indian or naturalized people know about. So there's a protection from them, protecting that gold and so forth there. So there's been a lot of people who've gone after that stuff and been out there looking and didn't come back.
He warned us that these things are not only very real, but that there's something not to be messed with.
They're not something to be trifled with. They are real. And people also call them fairies and things like that, you know, and of course they think they're these little things that you can play around with, and they are extremely powerful beings, natural beings. And so it's definitely something that one would have to be careful of.
Yeah.
And pay it respect.
Now, Dale says a lot of things, some easier to believe than others. And while I'd certainly keep his warning in mind, I sure as hell wasn't gonna let some hypothetical leprechauns obsessed with cursed gold stop me from making this video. You know, you already have a little bit more base knowledge on this than me, so I'm curious. Me and Chris, we're gonna be out there at Superstition Mountain. We'll be there during the day. We're gonna have a tour guide during the day, but at night, we're gonna sage ourselves at sunset, and then we're gonna go out into the wilderness at night and do our own paranormal investigation. Do you have any words of caution or advice for us, or safety warnings?
As I suggested to you before when we met on our last 3-day journey, and gave you a little bit of information on how to contact ships and so forth, again, using the same techniques, just make sure that you are respectful, that you are mindful, and make sure that you say out loud, I am protected. I am a child of the universe. I have the white light of creation around me, and I accept only positive things, you know, because otherwise you can leave yourself open, and you guys don't want to come out of there with some problems or not come out at all.
So the next morning, Chris and I packed up my truck and headed east to the Superstitions. From a distance, it looked just like any other Arizona landscape, but as we got closer, you could almost feel the shift.
Dude, as we're driving up to the base of this mountain, I'm feeling the energy, like something in every cell of my body. I'm just like vibrating with excitement.
I couldn't tell if it was just nerves from the idea of staying overnight or something else, but there was like this charge in the air. And quite honestly, the mountain looked majestic, almost like it was just inviting us in.
You see this mountain and hear all the stories and you see pictures of it, but it is hitting me that we are right here looking at this thing.
I remember when we pulled up, I just rolled down my window and my first thought was like, holy crap, this is it. We're finally here. And in that moment, everything just felt right with the world. Like this was exactly where we were supposed to be. But that feeling, we'd soon find out, it was a lie.
Just rolling down this window, my arm is already, I don't even think we brought sunscreen.
I got natural sunscreen.
You got that melanin?
Yeah.
Damn. All right, well, let's get this
ready.
Show going.
The first thing we did was start exploring the property a little bit just so we could grab some B-roll. That's where I ran into Steve for the first time. Like I said, he's the property manager who agreed to let us stay overnight.
You folks need to use a restroom. There's a restroom right there as well.
Cool.
Get a shot of yourself in the mirror, Chris.
What if I don't see my reflection?
Look at us right now. We're all happy. We'll call back to this moment when shit hits the fan later tonight.
Yup. You think this Elvis is gonna talk to us?
I don't think Elvis will talk to us because Elvis is still alive.
Ah.
Yeah.
He's in Cuba, right?
Yeah, with Tupac. And Steve also let me know that he'd have to take off at sunset, so he'd set up this church that was on the property out there that they call the Elvis Church, and he'd let us use that as our home base for the night. And so from here, because Steve had a limited time with us, the plan was pretty straightforward. We'd do the first half of the interview in the Elvis Church, which apparently was very old and very haunted, before moving outside where we'd do the rest of the interview in front of the mountain before sunset when Steve would have to take off.
What I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to leave you a golf cart.
Okay.
Just take care of it. Please be mindful there are things that do call this their home other than just us. There are animals that do come onto this property. We don't have a problem with it. It's just part of me living out here. You'll run across mule deer on here, javelinas, even the bobcats. They can get nasty, but they're not the attacking kind. They're going to see you and scurry off. So
I see.
like a cat would, you know.
Yeah. So what do you think? Set up our tripods in here, and we can do the first part of the interview in here.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay.
So Chris, we'll start setting up.
All right.
Okay.
And as we were setting up our cameras in the church, this is when Chris and I learned that around Steve, you have to be ready to record at a moment's notice.
Okay, I gotta take you up on top of the hill, show you guys places of interest where I know you'll have some activity. The place really starts coming alive. I notice spirit activity starts really getting heavy here around 10 o'clock. And as it gets closer to the witching hour, it really gets a real active up there. So be cautioned if you step onto the adjacent property. There's two big giant baskets and a wooden log right by a stepway that goes into the neighboring property. You go in there, you might have rocks thrown at you. I told people that, but there's a lot of activity with spirits. There's a cremation repository up there, wreckage of a plane crash that killed everybody on board. We know there's attachments with that. So you're going to find them. And some of the spirits on this property here have been dead for a long time, and they'll reach out to you. I always tell people you won't be disappointed.
One example is when we left Chris in the church by himself to set up some of the cameras. Steve took me around on his golf cart to give me a private tour of the entire campus. And it was on this impromptu tour where Steve brought up an encounter that he recently had with something that he referred to as the little people.
They're strong. They can throw rocks. As small as they are, he described them like being like ants. Ants can lift up 100 times their weight. These things can too. You know, so out of all the weird things that happen in there, I fear those more than anything.
The things that throw the rocks at you? You
said it's the ant people? Those little people.
The little ones, they throw the rocks.
Little people, yes.
And what was the noise that they make again?
Little kick, like little kick. They were communicating. One would talk, and then you could hear the other one kick. So we knew that, and at that night, so we didn't come out of that trailer for the rest of the night. I came in there and I kept a gun and a shotgun next to our travel trailer door. I mean, I kept thinking, what these son of a bitches come up to our
like compared to the shrubs?
They average between 1.5 to 2 feet in
so
height.
You literally just see a little thing running through these shrubs.
You see that brush right there?
Let me see.
That brush was only that high, so I could actually see.
So it was only about as tall as these small little shrubs out here.
I could actually see it running through the brush, and then it disappears. By that time, I'm backing up. I wouldn't turn my back. I kept walking backwards, and once I got close enough to the trailer, I turned and I sprinted, and I ran in there, and the first thing I did, I ended up knocking her son over to the ground, just trying to get to my gun. Scary, eh?
Yeah.
Even while we were miking up for the interview inside the church, Steve was still going on and on about these little people.
But his passion is mining and little people.
The little people out here.
Yeah, little people are not just here. They're all over the damn place. Their culture is all over the United States, and through Mexican, a lot of their oral histories through the Native Americans, they have different names, but they're the same creature. They keep describing the same thing, and in Mexico, they have a creature there that has been revered by the Aztecs, the Olmecs, and Inca, and it's called the Olus. They're all over Mexico. There's actually altars and shrines built for them.
There's a freeway that runs in towards Mexico City, and in that path of that freeway is one of these burrows where they supposedly lived. And for years, people that would disturb them would either be met with death or something very tragic in their life.
That one's supposed to be on me.
So the Mexican government actually had them build a bridge over it not to harm it.
Is this on him? Okay, is this recording as well? Yeah. Okay. All right, so tell me your name and how long have you been around the superstitions?
Okay.
Right now.
Oh, Steve Campbell. I've been involved with the museum for 9 years now. I've had a connection with this mountain since my father was a kid. He worked for a ranching family out here rounding up cattle. And he used to be, as a reward for all the boys for doing a good job during the summer, they would take him on overnight camping trips in the interior. That's when my dad was told about all these creatures in here, even UFOs, but stories of the little people, the story of an ancient race of giants that lived in here. And my dad used to tell us these stories, and these both used to frighten the hell out of me, but also fascinated me to no end. So it was always a fascination. So after I was divorced, I ended up moving back out here from California and moved right out here and immediately met some people here that had similar interests of stuff, so we would spend time exploring in the interior. And from there, with so many experiences happening within just a few days of going into there, I just never looked back. I was drawn into that, and I would leave out of state, and I would have that mountain. I actually dreamed about this mountain several times. I would always have a need, wanting to go home, and I couldn't explain why. I just had to come back. I kept getting drawn in here, and then I started talking to people that have both mined and explored there. They're telling me the same thing. There's something gets a hold of you in here, and it's very strong, it's very powerful, and you'll feel a need that you have to come back, and sometimes with no rational explanation of why. Something gets a hold of you in here, and it will get a hold of you and pull you back in here. And to this day, I still can't figure it out. And you talk to people that live around here, they're going to tell you almost similar descriptions of this mountain. A lot of people believe because of all the quartz crystals and granite in here is why this mountain is constantly charged. I mean, charged heavy. Lightning strikes are phenomenal in there because of all the quartz and the granite in here. They're like magnets for electricity. And it's like this mountain has got a life of its own. And it breeds a lot of things in here. And we think that's what gives these spirits and these entities all this power in there and things that they can do, devastating things to not just man, but the landscape itself. I tried going in there one time just to spend a few hours, and we went to one that they called the no-go zone. It's a place you go into, and everything from compasses, any type of electrical equipment you have in there either gets drained immediately or starts having all kinds of weird malfunctions. The feeling of dread when you walk to the no-go zone is actually frightening because we're walking and out of nowhere, all the next thing you know, I go, dude, I don't think we should go any further. I just want to turn around and they're all go, yeah, let's get out of here. And we walked away, then all of a sudden we're all calm again. I was going, dude, I could not move any further. I mean, my feet were frozen. I just knew, I kept hearing something telling me to leave. As soon as we walk out of there, everything's fine. So we try to reapproach it again. Once again, almost to the very exact spot. We're all freezing here, afraid to move forward. I mean, something was like the unknown or unseen didn't want us in there. And I think they were making that clear. So we stayed out of that part. And then we went to go investigate another area that had the exact same happen. You keep coming to this point where you can't go any further. Miners used to always describe it as just the unknown fear. People, there could be Apaches in here or something, but many prospectors would go there. And for whatever reason, even their mules would act frightened and take off running on them. There's areas in here that are very bizarre. The portals, a lot of people suspect portals are in those areas because there are known portals in here, and they're very documented portals.
What creates them? How do they get there?
It's some kind of a place where people have actually stepped in and come out into different times of history. In some places, what they found in here, a guy named Jack Sanfelice, he's a notable, really respected treasure hunter and historian. His brother used to do search and rescue recoveries in here for bodies. On a couple of occasions, they were called because some people hiking saw a couple, a man and a woman, in some bizarre clothes, but they knew that they weren't dead long because they weren't decayed yet. So they get as far as they can to get cell phone coverage. When they go in there, the Pinal County Sheriffs and someone from the Parks Department, they're shocked at what they're looking at. These people were wearing clothes that were out of Eastern Europe from around the 1400s, even had these little token coins that they could use for trade. And some of the tools and stuff were not indignant. Even the clothes, all the clothes were fresh. They weren't old, and they couldn't explain them. But then they started finding out about these portals because they actually, I got a picture, I'll show you folks here later, of actually one opening up. We got a picture of it.
You can send it to me.
We called it the magic doorway, and we were told we can get in trouble for posting these things. And it was weird. I posted on Facebook. Within a day, I was telling some friends about it. They said, there ain't nothing on your Facebook page. I go on there, it was removed.
Wow.
Went against Facebook standards. It was no pornography. It wasn't anything political, anything. It was just this square red frame door. And that's what miners described, seeing what they thought looked like a red glowing door. And then it would disappear. That is what people were coming through. Pima's lost many of their people into these portals. They would go on hunting parties into the interior for everything from bear, deer, whatever. And they always had 3 riders or 3 walkers, because they were also going back to time when there were no horses here. So they would be walking ahead. In case there was an ambush, those 3 would fall, the rest could fall back and defend themselves. They said on a few occasions when they were up there, they actually saw their advanced people literally disappear like a puff of smoke right in front of their eyes. Being able to hear their voices, and they'd even camp out there because they didn't want to lose they were confused what happened to their people. But they said over time their voices would become more fainter, then they wouldn't hear them again. Next season, they're on a hunting trip again. Bam, happens in another location, which happens to be what we know now, known to be portals. Geronimo was reported by Union soldiers walking through a rock, disappeared, only to be sighted in New Mexico 15 minutes later. Man, this happened in front of several cavalrymen. This is one of the only few times in history that Geronimo was in this mountain range. He lives up around the Mustangs, up around there, around the Tucson. That's his area. Coach Chiefs told him never come here. Coach Chiefs didn't like Geronimo. Told Geronimo to his face, you're a chief because we're at war. If we weren't at war, you'd be nothing. And he goes, from this point on, you stay out of this mountain. It's sacred to us, and him too, but this is my mountain. You go back to where you're at. So Geronimo stayed in his area. So the Native Americans know all too well about these. The balancing rock that's above the hieroglyphics trail is bizarre because the stone weighs about 8 to 12 tons, and it's balancing on a rock no bigger than my fist. It's how it got there, according to the Pima who lived here, even before the Great Flood. They said it was levitated and placed upon there.
Wow.
How they would talk about these things, and it's still part of their oral history to this day. So there's an area up on here where that balancing rock is at, where the Apaches won't go, and they didn't fear anything. If they even thought there was a miner up there, they'd be up there, but this place, nobody would go up there, and I couldn't understand why. They said because it's such a bizarre sacred area to whatever's up there, that they said that there had been stories by miners where they would see rocks levitating and then crashing down around them. The closer you got in there, the closer those rocks got to you. Someone said that they actually saw a big rock and what looked like underneath it, the remains of someone that got smashed by one. So it's a very creepy place. That the Apaches are the most hardened, ruthless killers of their time.
There's no skinwalkers out here either.
Yeah, there are skinwalkers, but not anywhere in the interior here. Skinwalkers are found on the northern end of the Superstitions out by Payson, or the Mogollon Rim, or the Mogollon Monster, whatever. Same guy, Bigfoot.
That's what they call it.
Giants roam this place for 1,000, 2,000 years or more. The Hohokam, they were afraid to come out at night because they hunted a lot at night. And they described these guys. If you can imagine something standing with his head as tall as that air conditioning.
Oh my goodness.
and they were man-eaters.
Yeah.
They were man-eaters. The Pima, that's one of the things that chased the Pimas out of here. They lived here when this place was peaceful, very little weird thing. They said once after the great epic flood, when the waters receded, they said that they noticed, they started talking about these portals. If you ever seen any Native American drawings where you see this spiral looking thing, and you see them all over the world. So it's a universal symbol. It's a universal symbol for a portal.
Huh.
And that they're all over, and especially in those areas we call the no-go zone, because compasses, and there's airplanes that have crashed in those very places we told
Well,
you.
speaking of, I feel like we should go out there right now, and I want you to show us the mountains, and like you can even tell us a little bit more about the paranormal activity out there when once we get out there. Cool.
Okay.
Let's move real quick, just for time's sake, because he has about 50 minutes left. Okay. Yeah.
It's here. As someone who's usually locked in a room editing for 12 hours straight, the last thing I want to worry about is cooking. That's why I've been using Factor. With over 80 weekly options, their meals are chef crafted, never frozen, and ready in just 2 minutes. I personally love Factor because it gives me the ability to stay in the zone without mindlessly grabbing a cheat meal when short on time. So whether you're trying to stay on track with your weight loss goals or just stay locked in on your grind like me, Factor takes the guesswork out of eating smart for everyone with protein-packed meals that are prepped and delivered right to your door.
And the best part, because Factor is the first sponsor of this channel, for a limited time, they're offering my viewers free breakfast for a year. All you have to do is head to factor75.com or click the link below and use my code SOWEIRDFB50 for 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. That's code SOWEIRDFB50 at factor75.com for 50% off plus free breakfast for 1 whole year.
Hey babe, what's for dinner?
I'm thinking truffle butter filet mignon tonight.
Filet mignon? Fancy.
Thank you, Factor Meals.
Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. We only had until sunset to interview Steve, since he had told me earlier that he had a hard out at 5 p.m. So for the last half of the interview, we moved out to shoot in front of the mountain, and on the way out there, a few things happened. First, Steve made it very clear that Chris and I should do everything we can to try to stay until at least the witching hour.
So you guys need to make a time
So you
to
can sit on
come
the back.
down here where you guys are showing up around 6, 7 o'clock,
Okay.
right when nightfall is happening, and stay here
All night?
up until, you gotta be here beyond the witching hour.
What's the witching hour?
It's at 3 o'clock.
Chris,
He
we'll-
knows about it.
We'll stay.
You know the
stay.
witching hour?
Yeah.
In Native American culture, when they would sit in their little wiki-ups or their sweat lodges, they did a lot of their big time ceremonies at 3 o'clock.
Wow.
In European culture, you had these shaman things, when they would do all these things, even the Catholic Church, they did these at 3 o'clock. And then when you talk to the Native Americans and even scientists, they said the reason why 3 o'clock is so synonymous, they said the barometer in the air is at its lightest at 3 o'clock.
Huh.
And if you listen to the Apaches, and like other cultures, they said spirits travel on the wind, and at 3 o'clock, they're very volatile, they're constantly moving around. So it just makes them more active, and they seem more charged at 3 o'clock. That's why we have people, they'll come here right at sunset, set up all their gear, all their tripods, all their equipment, and then go up there, and then everything comes to life. So it's
So
you guys should have some fun here
yeah,
tonight.
We're definitely gonna stay until witching hour.
And second, I brought in some reinforcements. My fiance Kate came with her little sister Harley and her sister's boyfriend, and they were gonna help be extra hands for the camera as well as grab B-roll for the sage shot that I wanted to get at golden hour. But in the meantime, until golden hour, the ladies stayed back and waited in the church while the boyfriend came behind the museum with us to man one of the cameras. And since this was the spot we were gonna be coming to after dark, I figured it'd be a great place for the rest of the interview.
Chris, we're going to come right here at one point tonight, set up to do some paranormal investigation, and then our other location is up where we're gonna set up this interview right now, and we're gonna interview until he has to go, overlooking the mountain.
We didn't have much time with Steve, and I think Steve wanted to give us as much information as possible. So even while we were in between interview shots, technically, he kept going on and on about the various things we needed to watch out for that night.
You guys ever been out here into the interior, climbed around this mountain at all?
I would love to.
You know, the mountain range itself is thousands of square miles. There's Indian dwellings up in some of the cliffs into the interior. You climb into them, they're over 1,000 years old. And because some of these canyons don't have any wind drafts in them, they're undisturbed. It looks like they were living in there yesterday, but no one has been in there. Those are very haunted. We had an individual climb into one of these, and it was a lot of room. As he was climbing in, he said he physically felt a pair of hands pushed him out, where he tumbled like about 20, 30 feet down a hill. Yeah, this place is very haunted. The whole mountain range is. They said this is the most hauntedest mountain range in all of the United States, if not the world.
Okay, so we're gonna have you stand where he's standing. Chris, that is going to be pointing at me, and I'm standing next to him. Okay, thank you. Hit recording as soon as possible.
Okay.
So now we're out here, we got the mountains behind us. Until you take off, we're gonna talk about the superstitions with this behind us. So first thing I wanna ask you about while we're out here, tell us about the violent little people to watch out for.
Little people are, from what we understand through all the research we've done for the years, these little people didn't originate here on Earth. They were, according to Native American and even ancient script out of the Middle East, they were brought here by a group of people called the Anunnaki. And they were brought here for one reason, to gather precious minerals, stones, gold. And they felt betrayed by mankind, is why they turned against man. They were left here. And all over the world, you hear different stories that they were used as gatherers of rare stones, particularly gold. That's why when you hear stories in Ireland about leprechauns having little buckets of gold, they're the same entity, the She, or the She people. And so they've been around forever, and they're very malevolent. There's nothing good about them at all. And here, the stories about little people are frightening, because what they do to man, they're cannibals, they eat humans. In the oral stories of the Navajo and the Apache, the Navajo talk about this. Even though this is not their region where they live, they did battle the Apache over here a lot. And in one of these battles, these little creatures joined the Apaches in battle against the Navajo. And one of the Navajo braves fell from his horse. And according to the Navajo, before he even had a chance to get up to go back to his horse, a swarm of these little people swarmed on him. And according to the Navajo, started tearing the flesh off its skin, frightened the Navajo almost into retreat. Now keep in mind, they're the largest Native American tribe in all of America, and they outnumbered the Apaches 20-1. But from what they were witnessing, it frightened them to no end, almost to the point of complete retreat, allowing the Apaches a victory in that battle. So they are nothing nice to play with. And there's another Native American name they give them, which translates into sharp teeth. It means their teeth are sharp, they can chew through bone. And why, you know, they are frightening. We had a guy from the Bureau of Land Management. They patrol here on horseback mostly, and on foot. This guy, his name was Steve, his easy name to remember. He was going on his horse. He's about a mile northeast of Weaver's Needle. And as he's going up along this trail, his horse starts acting really strange, never done this before. And so he's trying to calm his horse down. And as he's doing, he looks down this little ridge, maybe 20 feet down. He sees, in his eyes, a naked child running around. And immediately, this guy's angry, he's pissed off. For one, what parent in their right mind would take a child in here? And second, let him run around naked. So he's hopping off his horse, calling down to this kid, working his way down to him. And this thing kind of looks at him and then takes off around this rocks. So about a minute later, he reaches the ground. He goes around. It's just a labyrinth of boulders and everywhere. He spends a half an hour calling out to this little child, "Hey, little kid." Not getting no response. So he's kind of nerved for a minute, because it's a child. We're talking a child, but he's still angry. So now he's trying to find the parents of these kids. So he's going back to his horse. His horse is going crazy. Yeah. He knew something was wrong with his horse. As he was getting up there, now he's like 20 yards from his horse. He's maybe 10 yards in from his horse. His horse is acting even crazy. He hears a noise behind him. He turns around, he looks, he sees this thing. But it's that point when he sees this thing, he realized that this is no child at all that he thought it was. It had a wrinkled face, jagged teeth, and the little bastard's holding a stick. He said it looked like a spear. And he said at this point, he went from being angry, he's over there drawing his sidearm, and he's walking sideways, trying to get away from this thing. And it's staring him down, and he's scared to death. So he finally gets back to his horse. He gets the hell out of there. And he rides back to their main office where the BLM shares with the Apache Junction Reservation Police. He's in there telling his superior exactly what he encountered. The Apache police that were in that same office, they overheard that conversation. So they come up, and out of nowhere, it goes, "You didn't have any contact with them or anything?" He goes, "No, I seen it, and the thing frightened me." And he goes, "Good, don't ever confront these things. These things can and will kill you. They can get in your," and they're telling him, "Don't mess with them." They weren't asked, they were telling him, "Don't ever mess with these things. And they can and will eat you. They are nothing nice, and they are known to live in packs."
And you said you saw one.
Yeah, on the Peralta Trail. We were camping out there outside the Don's camp, and there's a couple of nice little trails that go in towards the interior. And this is 10 o'clock at night, and we're walking with lanterns, and we hear some noise in the brush. We all turned around just in time to see this little thing with little legs running into the brush, and then we hear something else over here, and all of a sudden my girlfriend and her son and kids were getting scared.
Yeah.
They
How
wanted-
big was it compared to like this little shrub right here?
He was almost just a little taller than that brush. So we're talking about 2 feet at most. And so they took off ahead of me. I'm standing here. I was afraid to turn my back. I kept walking backwards because I kept seeing that, but then I started hearing them. It sounded like they were communicating amongst each other. That's when I was able to realize there was at least 3 of them, because I would hear one going tick, 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 and then the other one, like they were communicating.
That was the noise
and
that they were
I think
making?
they were trying to circle around me or something.
That was the noise
Excuse
they
me.
were making?
Yeah,
Tick, 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 tick.
it's like a tick, 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 a little clicking noise, but it wasn't an audible thing. You can tell it was a vocalized noise. So I'm scared because now I know there's more than one of these things. So after I backed up enough, I actually took off back. Like I said, I ran back to my travel trailer. I grabbed my gun, and then I told them we're not going outside the store for the rest of the night. And most of the night we sat there looking out the window of our travel trailer. I mean, because I knew the story. I know the Apaches very well. They entertain our crowds here. We have Native American festivals. While they're here, I'm always draining them for information. Some are more open than the others. Apaches, I've noticed, are very open about everything, good or bad, because they said regardless what it is, it's part of their history, even if they are ashamed of things that they've done. The Navajo are a little more standoffish. We have them here as well. I learned the hard way never to talk to them about skinwalkers.
Oh,
because
why is that?
this one man and his wife, I've known now for about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
I was doing some research. We have some events here where we actually talk about certain types of these. So I go, "How you doing?" I was going, "Hey, if you guys don't mind, can I ask you a question? I've been doing a lot of research and not really getting a lot of any good answers." And I just goes, "Can you let me know, talk to me about the skinwalker?" That's all I said. And I looked on their face, they looked at each other. His wife gets up and walks away from me. And at that point I go, "Hey, did I say something wrong? Do I apologize?" And he goes, "Steve, you don't understand. We're not even allowed to talk about it. You know, even thinking about it can bring us great harm. And it's really frightening to us. So if you please don't." So I go, "Hey, I'm sorry." He goes, "Hey, it's understand. We're not upset with you. Just want you to know how we feel. We're not allowed to talk about it."
I'm actually going on a ride along for a day in the life of one of the Navajo Rangers on Thursday this coming week.
You know, he'll probably be able to tell you a story. A Navajo Ranger up here in the Four Corners, while he's driving, he encounters one. He sees it on the ground and it's moving, it's shifting. It's changing form, almost from a man to a creature. And he actually sees this. He runs back into his truck and he turns around to get the hell out of there. Now keep in mind, he's going down a dirt road about 50 miles an hour. He looks to the side, he's driving, this thing's running alongside of him about 60 miles an hour. And he said what was even crazier, he said it kept reaching for his door.
Wow.
Trying to get in. And so he steps on it, even though the road was unsafe. And this is well known, very documented case.
Do these things eat you? Do they just rip you
They'll
apart?
kill you.
Okay.
They'll kill you.
How?
And you'll become a skinwalker yourself.
Really?
Yeah. To me, it reminds me of a vampire biting you. Once he does, or she does, your life will be in torment. You will yourself become a vampire. With one of these, there are in so many cases up here where people coming in direct contact with them, they themselves become skinwalkers. And you're basically condemned for the rest of your life to live in this trance. There's no way the Navajos describe it. It's like opening up a Pandora's box. Once you unleash this, there's no putting it back. And the only reason that Skinwalker was ever conjured, it wasn't anything originally for malevolent reasons. It was to get back at the Zuni Indians.
Yeah.
The Zunis and the Navajo were fighting over a section of land in the Four Corners, and where now we know is where Skinwalker Ranch is at.
Okay.
And it was belonged, according to their old story, it belonged to the Navajo, even though the Zuni and them battled over it. The Zuni made good friends with the Union soldiers, befriended them, became very helpful, but they only did it for one reason. They figured if they could become good friends with the Union, we can use the Union soldiers to help us move the Navajo out. And it worked. And the Navajo felt that is the ultimate betrayal. It's one thing to lose in battle and stuff, but to go to these people that we don't care for and ally in yourself and to get us chased out, they felt that is the ultimate betrayal. And then that is why the Navajo witches were allowed to conjure this Skinwalker.
Wow.
And once they did it, even the Navajo said there's no putting it back in the bottle.
Well, one thing
and they're everywhere.
that you said earlier that clicked for me was you think the Anunnaki brought the little people.
Yeah.
The little people, you also described this phenomenon. First off, I want to talk about this phenomenon of them throwing rocks, and then I want to talk about the Anunnaki connection to the gold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tell us about the rocks and then the gold.
The rocks that are being thrown, they're not so much by the little people, but they are rock throwers. They don't just throw rocks, they can throw stones like that at you. Now keep in mind, we're talking 2.5, 3 foot tall, can pick up rock enough to completely obliterate your skull. They're strong enough to throw those at you. They have nails, and even the guy from the Bureau of Land Management, he described the nails on this thing about 3 to 4 inches in length and pointed. So they dig. They live underground. They have a connection with water. There are not many left. There's maybe about 24 active springs still in there. So many people will tell you that looks like little baby footprints they'll see around it going into the water but not out. Or see some look like they came out of the water. They live in our cenotes, or underground aquifer systems. And when you hear cultures around the world, they have the same story. Mexico, they live in the cenotes, which are underground water systems. So they do travel from that. That's how they get around. But they do get hungry a lot. So they come to the surface to hunt everything from animals, and unfortunately, if a human's there, they'll definitely eat you as well.
Huh.
And they're strong enough to tear the flesh off your body with their hands. So there's something very dangerous. They're one thing you shouldn't mess with. That's one of the only few things in there that I know the gun will help you with.
The little people?
Yeah, because they're not supernatural.
Has anybody ever had a dead body?
Yeah, they're actually, you can pull that up. Little people found. You got a rancher's got one. He's actually took it to a lot of.
Or do they look like gnomes?
The son of that rancher, when he found it in a cave looking for one of their lost steers, he found a small cave. So he goes to his source and pulls his flashlight out, was looking in there. He climbs into this tunnel about from here to that saguaro cactus. He sees what he thought in his head was a Buddha piggy bank. He saw a little short dude, legs crossed, arms, and he's like, this is weird. So he's climbing in there. You can hear his dad. He said, my dad goes, I'm looking at something, I'll be right out. He gets closer, and then he's looking at it, and he stops, and he goes, this is kind of creeping him out because it's not a Buddha piggy bank. It looks like a dead animal or something. So he gets it, he picks this thing up, and he's looking at it. It's got eyes, nose, mouth, hands, little feet and stuff. So he carries this thing out, shows it to his dad. This thing there's pictures of this thing.
Wow.
There's been several of these things, and it's really bizarre.
And they have
mummify their
powers.
yeah, they can get in your head. We had a guy, a very prominent miner and stuff. He was up here, he came in contact with one, and he said that this thing from that point on got in his head. He's walking along the crosscut trail, and as he's walking, a voice almost like my voice coming out now said turn left. So he did, not thinking, and stepped off a ledge going down about 50, 60 feet. Something told him to turn left. He believes it was them.
Wow.
So these are very dangerous little things.
So what's this legend of the Lost Dutchman's gold mine?
The Lost Dutchman gold mine, there's a lot of stories behind that in the gold because according to the Dutchman, a lot of that gold was placed there. It wasn't mined.
Who's the Dutchman?
The Lost Dutchman, that's Jacob Waltz. He's the story of the Lost Dutchman. They called him Deutschman because they thought he was Dutch. He was an actual German.
Huh.
He was a descendant from German, actually fought in the Civil War. He fought for the Union in the Civil War. He started mining up in the gold fields of Georgia. But when that was played out, he did like every guy that had a shovel, went to California. They had the big gold rush, they had land stakes, you go there, you can claim the land. So he goes there and has various success. But then he reads newspapers about this huge gold strikes in Arizona. So of course he packs up, comes out here, and it brought him to this mountain. And he met some people called the Peraltas who actually found this mine originally themselves.
When was this?
This was during the late 1800s.
Okay.
Late 1800s.
This is like the Wild West back then.
Oh, absolutely. This was not a place where I would even say you would definitely would not want to live here. It was infested with renegade Apaches, claim jumpers, just cold-blooded murders. This was a very bad place. And that's why Jacob Waltz couldn't trust hiring anybody out here to help him. He lived in Phoenix with this one lady of mixed, she was part white, part black.
Yeah.
Her name was Julia Thomas. She ran a boarding house there. That's where he stayed. He thought it was perfect. Didn't have to cook his own meals anymore, clean his room. It was all being done for him. He had a good relation. Even helped Julia Thomas pay off all of her debts and everything. And he came back every once in a while with a big milk crate full of the most finest gold. To this day, no one can explain it. It's so pure that this gold has only been found in a couple of places around the world. It's so high and pure. So he had a gold that he was not even familiarized with, but he knew it was purer than any gold that any man has ever seen in history. And where it came from, to this day, is still debatable because no one knows who actually deposited in there. There were stories of the Anunnaki connection and how this gold was gathered and placed there. Some people said that there was a good possibility that that was one of the staging areas for this gold that were put there by these little people, because just they were gatherers. They used to gather gold, and that's even what the Apaches said. Every one of them had little portions of gold on them, but they didn't sell it or trade it. They were holding it. That was really weird. You know, today you see people with gold, unless it's a jewelry piece or something, they're carrying these little leather things with gold in it. They were gatherers. They gathered gold. And that was always a mystery, even for the Pima and the Apache, that there had a connection with gold and water.
Is there like tales? Because I've heard like of almost maybe, is there like a curse protecting the gold or some folk protecting
and it's a group that, according to the Apaches and some others, they had gave them a name called the Black Legion. And these are not spirits per se, they're elementals. They're neither human or demonic there, but they are protectors of this mountain, and they have protected this mountain. 80 to 90% of the people that have died in this mountain, and there are a lot, it's in the hundreds, could be the thousands, the mass majority of them were here looking for gold. And it's more, I think, more than a coincidence that these miners, prospectors would be singled out, and how they knew that. It's like they can read your mind, they know why you're here. One was struck by lightning. And according to people there, they saw the lightning strike. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, but the man was struck down by lightning. People try to say it was ball lightning, but But on a day like this, where there's no clouds, they get struck by lightning is really bizarre.
Yeah. What is an elemental? What does that even mean?
He's a spirit. It's an energy spirit. It's strictly a form of energy. It's a massive energy, and it's an intelligent energy. It's just not a form of electricity that you plug into. This is a form of energy that has high intelligence. It can communicate, but for some reason, man is not something it favors too well, because throughout history, there's been no good things mentioned about these elementals. The jinn, these genies.
Like the shadow figures.
Yeah, and the jinn are considered elementals. They're not human spirits at all. They've been known to take on human form, but that's just to deceive man or to lure men. You know, they've even had sounds or stories where they would make mimics of small children or women screaming for help. A lot of people have heard stories of that. Hear a child or someone screaming for help, usually disguised almost like a woman's voice to lure you off away, and then that's when things always go bad for you. So yeah, this mountain, it has its share of very strange and bizarre things in here that still happen to this very day.
You were talking a lot about spirits and even something called the Brillo Man. What is that?
The Brillo Man was actually spotted up there by that saguaro cactus about 40 yards from here.
We'll be able to go there
We had
tonight.
a group of people from AZ Paranormal. They co-host our paranormal tours we have here. And why they were getting a lot of their equipment set up, because they had groups broken up into groups, different groups would come up to different places. We're standing about where the golf cart's at. We hear a noise, we look over, we see what he does originally. Sees this gentleman, we think is this man, he looks like 7 foot tall, pretty brawly looking guy. He goes, Steve, who the hell is that? I turn around and look, and I was like thrown back, like, what the hell is it first? Because when it turned around, we couldn't see a face. No nose, mouth, it just looked like Brillo.
Yeah.
But it had 2 piercing, glowing red eyes. And you gotta keep in mind this guy from AZ Paranormal, he's a big dude. He's like 6'3", 6'4", big. He was scared to death. And all I wanted to do was get down the hill. And we sat there and watched it turn away. It was looking at us. It knew, that's what scared me, because it was aware of us being here and obviously knew we were looking at it. It's when it started to turn away from us, he started shimmering, like vibrating, and then poof, gone. And that's when me and Rob, we made our way down the hill. And went up and got Denny and some other people up here.
What do you think it was?
From what I understand from this guy named Duncan, the Duncan family, they're the ambassadors for the Apaches, he described what they call as a Brillo Man.
Huh.
He's a conjured spirit. Now this guy he is more of a protector. So he's either here protecting something buried over here, or he's here to hurt somebody that come over here or interfere with something. Like I said, there's something negative over here.
Didn't you say you thought there was a body up there?
We believe there's a body buried here, and there is a mound about the length of what a body would be. We seek permission under the guide of the Historical Society, who I'm employed by, my employers. And they said no, because if it's dealing with an actual body, you have to have police here, you have to have this here. So we thought, well, we can run a ground penetrating radar and run a scan over it to see if there is anything of a human in here. It could be a criminal case, but from what we hear, there are several bodies buried over there, and there's more than one mound. We found one, there's been 4 other ones found. Now there are 6 bodies buried on his side. And they were part of the Weeks family. They were a cattle ranching family that owned all of this land.
Wow.
All this across the street. They are one of the largest cattle ranching families in the state, which are still involved in ranching to this day. They witnessed a lot in themselves being here. You know, I've met some of the descendants from them that come here. We actually invited to one of our UFO sky watching, and she described entities over here, her family did, for years. And there were cattle that they would wake up and would be dead. Not like a cattle mutilation, but they would be dead, and healthy cows that they actually would see the day before just to see them dead the next day. They've had vets, they weren't bitten by rattlesnakes. Most cases, they said they can tell by their pupils or the vein or something that they died in fear. So there's been incidences on this property that go back. When the ranching family started here, it was in 1914.
Yeah.
So they had cattle out here, they ranched, so they've seen a lot.
Yeah.
a lot out here. And you know, some of the stories you hear that were passed down from them were kind
Yeah.
of frightening. They had spirits here. One sounded like they were trying to beat their door down, constantly banging on the door. They had people running out with guns around to the front to try to catch them, and there's nobody there. Waking up and seeing shadow figures staring over their bed, you know, but they stuck it out. They stayed here through all that because they said that nothing, I think they were trying to communicate. According to this daughter, a great-granddaughter said, we think we're trying to communicate. But you got to understand, this was the late 1800s, early 1900s. I mean, we're all Bible-holding, God-fearing people, and this stuff was considered, if it happened to you, you've done something bad in life. So they really didn't know what was going on, and so they'd even had prayer groups come out around here. But they said all their prayers never worked because these things were always here. Shadow people, you'll see them here. You'll see them everywhere around here. I mean, I think everyone in here said they would sit out there and see a shadow go through their yard.
Tell us about the lady who was living over here and she saw some, the
Yeah.
aluminum foil over the window. What was that all about?
Okay, this was like,
is crazy,
excuse me,
by
not
the
even
way.
6 years ago. We had a couple come in.
Because there's a neighborhood right here, right
Yeah.
under the mountain.
Yeah, these are some very expensive homes too up here. They came by, wanted to become volunteers at the museum, told us they just bought a home. They're still unpacking, getting used to their beautiful home. Described the beautiful view of the massacre grounds she can see from her kitchen
What do you mean by
window.
massacre grounds? Why is it called
They
that?
call it the massacre grounds because that's where about 60 Peralta family members were completely, brutally murdered. And maybe about 4 dozen people from Goldfield who rode in to try to help them while the Apaches were literally slaughtering them.
Why were they doing that?
Well, the Peraltas were allowed to come in here, and somehow, they don't know how they brokered this deal with the Apaches, but they told them, hey, we'll bring you trade goods when we come in from Mexico. And they did. They took good care of the Apaches. They brought them everything that they wanted and some. They're letting them come in here. Miners would be killed immediately. But for whatever reason, the Peraltas were given a green card. Go for it. So they're in there mining. But the Apaches did tell them one thing, and they meant it seriously. You can do all these things in here, but never, ever mess with any of our women. Don Peralta goes, hey, look, my sons and I and some relatives, we're only here for a few months out of the year, and then we go back to Mexico. We mean no disrespect or anything to your people. And the Apache goes, all right, good, this will work. Well, it worked for about 5-6 years. And then as they're mining, they kept finding more and more gold. They have claims, they're everywhere, but there's only a few of them, and there's billions and billions of dollars worth of gold there. So he was left to the task. So when they go back to Mexico at the end of their season, he brings back nephews, great-grandsons, some of them in their teens. And they're in there, and at that time, the Apaches lived all out through the interior. And apparently some of those Apache women looked really hot because these Peralta boys seen him, and they were having sexual relationships with quite a few of them, apparently. Why the cat's out, the mouse will play. Well, the Apache war, they're braves, they're out battling the Navajo. So one of the braves see this, and he's angered to no end. So he gets on his horse and rides up to Payson, where about 400 Apaches were getting ready to go to war with the Navajo. And this Mormon rancher that owned that land, he had allowed the Apaches to come here, and he was a smart man. I'll let you trade your horses in. If you need water or food, I'll help you, we'll feed you. That kept him alive. So the Apaches, this guy's a good guy. For a white guy, he's not bad. But he did it, he's a smart man, it kept him alive. But they had a war party on his land, and he was allowed to come sit around this fire, and they're putting on their war paint and sharpening up their hatchets and stuff. And then this Mormon rancher talks about this young rider comes in, gets off his horse, and he goes and talks to their chief, and he stands up and he calls off the battle against the Navajo. We're gonna go kill some Spaniards. And that Mormon rancher, he knew immediately, just by him saying the Spaniards, he goes, oh my God, those poor Peraltas. So he sends his grandson, what he thought would be ahead of those Apaches, to get down to Goldfield and then have someone come in here and tell those Peraltas, hurry and get the F out of here. kid took the wrong route. He gets down to Goldfield as the onslaught is just now starting to take place. The Peralta family thought they had the high ground, where they could be safe from the Apaches, but they forgot one thing. This is the Apaches' backyard. They just went to higher ground. They forced them out with large rocks and shot, and then they said they wanted them to rot. This is the fascinating part of that story. According to the Apaches, they wanted them to rot for what they did. This was an ultimate betrayal. Messing with their women, unforgivable. But when they said they wanted them to rot, a lot of people don't realize they meant that literally, because after they even killed them, the Apaches camped out on those rocks until the smell was so unbearable that they couldn't even stand it anymore. You know, even after the battle, some people from Goldfield tried to go up there to see if there was any wounded or even attend to their dead of these Peralta, because a lot of people knew these Peralta family, and they would be shot. So they sat on the porches of their homes in Gold Canyon and watched in horror, not being able to help these Peraltas at all. And the Apache stayed there for almost a month after they killed them, but the smell was so bad, but they meant it. They wanted them to rot. They stayed until they started to rot. And to this day, people have walked around there, find little tiny pieces of finger, part of a jawbone, because they weren't given burials. I think that's one of the reasons why the massacre ground is a very volatile spot, because they didn't get the proper Christian burial. So they weren't, like they were discarded and just left there. And the ultimate disrespect for their bodies is that's what the Apaches intended. That's what they wanted. But they didn't get a proper burial. So most people believe that's why it is so active. And so some of the voices you hear up there many of them are English. We picked up so many on our digital recorders in Spanish. And unfortunately, like I said, one time we didn't have anyone that could break down the English to Spanish translation.
We got Chris today.
Yeah, that's what he said. So I should say, sometimes ask some questions in Spanish. You might get some responses.
So then that brings us...
Spirits are drawn to this hill.
To what happened at the home that was next to the...
Yeah, the lady's washing her dishes. I get a little sidetracked here. The lady's washing dishes. She's in her brand new home, and she's got the beautiful view. It's the massacre grounds. She's doing dishes. This is around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And she stops what she's doing. She's like squinting my eyes and look. She sees a man walking. But the difference between this, below him from the torso, there was no legs. He was like floating with this lantern or a light. And yet here comes a second one, a translucent figure. So she's screaming like crazy for her husband. He goes into the kitchen. She's pointing it out. He sees it. Now you got both of them really going crazy. So they went to their next door neighbor that greeted them when they moved in. Even gave him a little plate of cookies. Well, they go in there, they said, please, you need to see this. So the lady and her husband come over to their house, and she's pointing out the window to what they saw. She sees it too. And instead of saying, oh my God, blah, 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 she turned around and put her hand out, welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And she goes, what does that mean? She goes, come here, let me show you something. They go to her house. They go into her kitchen. Unlike her kitchen, her window is framed up with aluminum foil. She said her and her husband and a relative got freaked out after seeing it every day, every night, different thing, and orbs moving around. They said it was too much, so they just put aluminum foil over there. And it's one of these things that people describe. Even up in here at night, you'll see flickers of light moving. Now, miners used to freak out over it. According to the Apache, it's the spirit of their dead. Because they still have a lot of energy in them. So you'll see light shimmering up here, and you see it a lot. You guys might get lucky tonight and see some of that. You will.
Tell us about the petrified giants or something like that.
Up there on top of the hill, on top of that mountain, there's what they call hoodoos. If you ever climb up there and look at them, a lot of people, myself, a lot of people, you'll see what looks like full human features in these things. And most of them are standing more than 8 feet tall. And according to the Pima and the Apaches, those stones were not always stone, they were giants. And God, during the Great Flood, as the Pimas were climbing this mountain to escape the floodwaters, they said they get up to the top, they notice there's animals, everything else is also climbing, also giants. who they feared because they were man-eaters. But they said there was so much fear and confusion going on that no one was really paying attention to anything else other than just trying to stay alive. It's raining nonstop for weeks. The water is coming up. We'd be underwater right now where we're standing. But they said at one point the rain stopped, almost like someone turned a water faucet off. And then they described what looked like a white ash, like thick ash cloud, started descending down from them. And they said turning all these giants into stone. It blows you away, and it sounds like something out of a creepy science fiction novel until you actually go up there and see them yourself.
So can we see them from here?
No, man, you'd have to have some type of very powerful scope, and you got to really examine the rock. There's one that looks like it's going like this. You get the side profile. It's like this thing saw it coming, was trying to brace for it. But most of these hoodoos are from 6 feet to 12 and 13 feet.
You said there's one with like a baby as well?
Yeah, a mother in the burden basket. It's weird because these are solid stone, solid rock. They're not carved.
They're part of the rock formation.
Yeah, they're up there, separate rocks, like a separate entity in itself.
Wow.
The one they call the mother in the burden basket, what really catches everyone's attention, this rock with human features all through it has a head, what looks like long flowing hair, stone, but a rock with the nose, eyes, mouth, and it looked like, what looked like a burden basket. I mean, it's what it is. It is a burden basket, but it's one solid piece of stone, and it's hollow like a burden basket. When you climb up and you look down in there, it's like, oh my God.
Has anybody ever photographed that?
Yeah. There's actual pictures online.
What were you going to say was inside of it?
What looks like the dome of a child's head, which would have been in that basket. They carried their babies, just like they have today. They even have what they call, some of them, burden baskets. Some of them carried supplies in it. A lot of them carried their babies in them. And it's like a papoose or whatever thing they used to carry their babies in, what some Native Americans call them.
I got one last question. It's about 5 for you. Come over this way so we can get the mountains getting you in the background on this camera. All right. So we're gonna be here at night. I've heard that this is a dangerous place at night. Can you tell us why it's dangerous and maybe give us some advice to stay safe?
Absolutely. For one, there's rattlesnakes all over this place. We do have Gila monsters, bobcats come here. The mule deer you don't have to worry about. I just find your safety when it comes to the snakes here. There have been sightings of green Mojaves, which are worse than any rattlesnake. But fortunately, we had never spotted any on this property, so we're good. Spirits can be problematic. If you cross over there, walk up there.
We will.
Get your flashlight.
Yeah.
Keep wary. If you get rocks thrown at you, I would always advise you, fight any temptations on running, stay, and then communicate. Because once they started to run, they go, what the hell are we running for? You see them, they turn back, and even though you can hear rocks coming around, they started asking questions and everything calmed down. And then the communications were going back and forth. And when they talked to this one spirit, goes, are you from here? Did you die here? And you can hear him say, I come and I go. And one lady, they think that she was about 150 years old. We had one that said he got pushed down a mine shaft. I got pushed down a shaft. How did you die? We had EMF devices and digital recorders running the spirit box we set here because of the spirits in here.
This is, by the way, where they dump ashes for bodies.
Human remains.
For people who want to dump their ashes here. So.
Yeah, it's a cremation repository. They keep human ashes in here. But for the last 150 years, 100, 200 ash piles were deposited throughout this area. So it's really ripe with a lot of activity. Once the sun goes down, I would come out and start doing all of your sessions out here. I don't think you guys are going to be disappointed. The extent of your time here, I think, weighs heavy on the amount of back and forth you'll get. And there's no residuals here.
Yeah.
Nothing like that at all. The spirits here respond to questions, so you know they're not residuals. If you're asking a question and they're responding back to you, one of the 3 children in here, the girl's name's Morgan. If you forget her name, when you call out to the kids, don't call out children. Call them out by their names. Their names are over there, Morgan, Luke, and Logan. There's Sean. There were 2 co-pilots in that plane. Their name's on that plaque over there.
This plane crashed here, right, with the family?
Yeah, it crashed into the side of the Flatiron.
Wow.
Isn't that odd enough? And they worked for medevac. They did search and rescue. That's what made it a sad story. They made a living out of helping people stranded and, you know, in those mountains, flying people out. And to die in that very mountain that him and his wife both have spent years rescuing people.
It just shows that there's like something ominous about this mountain. But I mean, I was telling you this off camera, when me and Chris were driving towards here, as soon as the mountain came into view, there's almost something ironically seductive about it. Like you said, it pulls you in, it's dangerous.
Like I said, I've told you
Widow.
People that live around here, many of them will tell you when they go away, they leave this place for a week or a day.
Is that an arch I see in the middle there? You see that dark shadow?
No, it's not, but that's where that doorway's at. Right up there above that. I'll show it to you before I leave.
The portal that you saw open up.
It's a portal, yes,
and it's a red door looking thing.
Yeah, because the Pima revered that center spot, and then when the Apaches came into this region 1,000 years later, for whatever reason, they found that place very special. And then you see all the sparkling of light at night.
Yeah.
And stuff, so it's a very sacred spot.
Well, either way, Steve, thank you so much for stopping by today. We've got to start setting up for our investigation tonight.
Okay.
And dude, this was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
So there's a lot of this place here. I mean, you'll get to if you do your research, there's a lot that can bring you guys back here and do something different every week, every night. If you ever get a chance, go into the interior, but never go alone. Never separate. It's the ones that do that are singled out, and they do have hitchhikers in there. So you always got to be careful going into the interior. Hitchhikers are spirits that cling on to you, that when you leave, they leave with you. You'll wake up and they'll be next to your bed. Things are going to start happening. So yeah, I always tell people that go in the interior, that if that's what you're going in there to investigate, be careful what you investigate, because what you investigate may want to come home with you. Wow. People give them a name called hitchhikers. They don't have to be invited. They'll come back. I think it's the way.
It's like a spirit.
It's punishing you. You came to where they're at and bothered them. Now they're going to come to your house and bother you.
So the interior is just over the mountain, is what you mean by that?
Well, you got the massacre grounds right there where that cropping of hills and rocks are at. Yeah. It's a massacre ground. Beyond that is where the open interior at. And there's various trails that go to different locations. The first trail will take you actually to the first portal.
Huh.
The first one ever discovered, and I believe that was by the Pima. And so the portals in here are equally fascinating because they believe that, according to the Pima, the reptilian came through the portal.
Wow.
See, these were things that weren't in this mountain when they were originally living here. They were agriculturalists, they were farmers, they were peaceful people, but they said weird things started happening after the Great Flood. They started talking about this transferal thing that people were stepping through and disappearing into, and they believe that the reptilian race came through there. They believe other entities. You know, there's something that's been seen flying around in here for a good 100 years or more, and what most people call it is like a Mothman, because it's got wings, it's got the face of a bug with glowing eyes. People said they've seen them buzz down of their campsites in there at night, scaring them to no end.
Have you ever seen anything creepy like that?
Yeah, we've seen things flying in there, but can't get in close. But you'll see things in there. You always seem like you're always too far, or you can see it, but the closer you get, it's just like it's taunting you or trying to get you to come in more. But yeah, there's a lot of things in here. I would invite you guys, go online, research this mountain, the stories and the eyewitness accounts, and luckily there are some videos and pictures of some of these.
Hopefully we'll catch some tonight.
There are, yeah, you guys shouldn't have any problems here. I think you guys should have a fun time here tonight. Keep in mind, it looks like there's a party getting ready to take off down the hill. It's a wedding venue. They have parties there.
I see.
Yeah, we've been up here doing sessions. We can hear music, dance, so we're out here doing all this stuff, dancing with them.
That's funny.
Yeah, this place is it's ripe, and I wish you guys all the luck.
Thank you,
You
sir.
guys should have fun here tonight.
Yeah, cool.
With the interview done, I finally had a second to breathe, but technically we were just getting started. And with the sun already going down, there was still one last shot we needed to get. The sage, the sunset, a cinematic opening to our overnight investigation. But right as we were getting ready to film, Steve stopped us.
Harley, so we made the executive decision. Since he said Sage will keep the good and the bad spirits away, we'll do that another time. We're just gonna grab
when you
sunset
use
shots.
that sage, you only leave that when you're getting ready to leave. Before you step foot in your car, sage yourself.
Apparently doing it now would cleanse the area too soon and could potentially kill any chance that we get any activity later that night.
If you notice, most of these, even paranormal, they won't sage themselves when they go in because they're wanting to have an interaction with the spirits. You're by saging yourself you're scaring them off.
They're like, ew, you stink.
So he encouraged us not to do the saging, at least not until we left. And to be honest, at this point, I had no idea if I believed any of the urban legends or not. But now with that shot scrapped and the sun disappearing fast, I found myself scrambling around, trying to pivot on the spot and find new setups, still chasing that cinematic feel.
Actually, let me, I gotta take out the receiver.
Real quick, does it look like it's focusing at all? I don't think so.
Does it? It's not changing.
Yeah, I wonder. Hold on.
And it was around this time that the plan we came in with all day started to unravel.
We're grabbing B-roll.
The camera's beginning.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's
Why is it
the focus? The focus on this one is just staying focused.
This was the lens that I had bought for Golden Hour, the exact moment we were in. And I also planned to use that lens later that night. But now, as weird as it sounds, this manual focus lens wasn't focusing. I saw it too. The gears were turning and the focus wasn't shifting. And it was just one more thing that we had to work around on the fly while I was already improvising.
So get the church during golden hour and get me.
Okay.
We're getting golden hour shots. That's what this is all about.
And it started to feel like whatever plans I thought I had coming into this place, the mountain had plans of its own.
Can I have you grab the other video camera?
I'm gonna get in front of you.
Get the mountain in the background and me looking at the mountain. Can you see the mountain in the background? Now we're gonna get some B-roll of me walking through the shrubs towards the mountain.
You got it.
Real quick. And then I want you tied on my face. Both thirds to where the mountain is like on this 2/3. Oh, get me leaning against this wall.
Ultimately, we got the shots we needed. And yeah, they looked badass. But the energy had shifted.
And until it gets too dark, get some golden hour shots wherever you want.
I wanted to get a few shots with my drone, so I don't know if you wanted to get that.
And all that excitement that we had felt earlier, it was being replaced by something heavier. It's like the illusion was starting to slip. And that's when Chris, who was still flying the drone, pulled me aside to tell me something that he had seen earlier.
Dude, I'm getting some good drone shots, but did you notice back when you guys were doing the interview? I don't know if you noticed, but over there, right here behind this big rock, I could have sworn, dude, I saw something peeking its head over when he was talking about the portals. It was like a dark shadow. It just went like this. It peeked.
Wait, hold on. Tell this story again.
So we were doing the interview over there, and obviously when he started talking about the portals, yeah. So while we were recording the interview over there, he began talking about the portals and how it's over there up in the mountains. And I kid you not, I have no idea what it is. It's hard to explain. I was recording them from the corner of my eye. I see there's a rock and there's like a shadow, and it just goes like this. It peeks over and it comes back, and I take a second look and it's not there anymore. And dude, I just don't know at this point. Like,
All right. Here's the thing, man. I got to say this. Here, take this camera.
All right, so here's what's crazy. Dude, the sun's going down. I haven't had a paranormal experience as an adult. I've had some stuff happen to me as a child, but if you saw something, that's fucking crazy already. And what's even crazier is like, we had such a great shoot yesterday, but today, I mean, the moment we stopped the interview, the nice lens that I just bought broke, and we didn't drop it. We don't know what happened. And like, obviously kind of sours my mood a little bit, but I mean, for everything going right up until the moment we start this investigation and that fucking lens breaks, and I don't know, Chris, like, Have you been you said something happened to you?
Yeah, with that shadow, but
You were grabbing B-roll up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then...
Was it when you were grabbing B-roll?
That what?
That you saw...
No. When he was talking about the portals, when you two were standing next to each other.
Yeah.
And he was pointing over the mountains. And then as he was pointing over the mountains, I just look a little bit to the left, and there's like a big facing rock.
Uh-huh.
And then that's where I saw the thing peeking out.
Yeah.
And just like peek out for a few seconds and then come back in.
At first, I wasn't sure if he was like just messing with me or something because I didn't see it, so I couldn't speak to what he said he saw.
And I thought it was a shadow.
Okay.
The way the sun was hitting, it was weird.
Okay. All right. Well, guess we'll see what happens tonight. And I didn't say anything at the time, but part of me was starting to wonder if Chris was actually just screwing with me or not. So I had Chris hang back at the church while I took Kate and her little sister, along with our other cameraman, back up to the crematorium because I wanted to show them around before dark. We're going up. Yeah, you're gonna stay here.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna grab some shots and then come back.
I'll just wait.
Yeah. You're just afraid to be by yourself?
No.
Okay. I figured if I'd showed them around before the sun went down that maybe they'd be willing to stick around and hang out with us for the night, because now that we were running out of sunlight, I think the idea of Chris and I being out there all alone by ourselves was finally starting to sink in. So that's plane crash debris.
Is it real?
Yes. So it crashed into the side of that mountain where one of those rocks is sticking out. And he said it was weird because the plane crash, the guy, he was known for using his plane to go medevac people. And so he said it was ironic that they crashed into the side of it and the mountain that they used to save people at actually killed him. And in the plane with him was his buddy and his 3 children that he talked about. At first, everything was calm. You know, I was just walking them around the area, showing them the plane crash debris and even showing them the crematorium where people come and dump ashes. Real quick, you'll appreciate this. This will be good for the paranormal investigation. You see all these white rocks? These white rocks in the ground? Yeah. He said those are all ashes of people who dump ashes up here all the time. So those are fresh, those white. And he said, people come up here to dump ashes all the time because right here, they organize for people to, they allow them to come and dump their loved ones' remains right here in this cremation repository. It's so you need approval to dump it, but when they get approval, they unlock it, they leave the family up here by themselves, give them their privacy, and they dump the ashes. But like this, can you imagine just living right under this neighborhood? In this neighborhood under the mountain? Apparently they see stuff all the time. And this is when I also thought to tell them about what Chris had just told me about what he thought he saw in the shrubs. So Chris was trying to tell me that during the interview, and this is crazy because off camera, and this is for the camera, can you see me right now? Yeah. Okay. Steve told me off camera when we were driving, he was giving me the tour of this place. There are portals out here that open up to where you will walk through a portal and it looks like the thing from the Marvel TV show with the orange door. And he said the portals open up and they have for centuries, and people say they walk through them. They appear at different places and also in different times in history. And he said that because he lives in this neighborhood down here, he said he got a picture of an orange door right there in the middle of the mountain open up. And he said he posted it on his Facebook, and he said the next day his Facebook, all the content was removed from his Facebook because it's something about posting that portal violated. And so what's crazy is Chris, when we were down there before you and I and all of us came up here, he said as soon as we started talking about the portals during the interview, he saw a head peeking out from one of these shrubs looking at us. Okay, so I'm hearing ticking, looking at us. Okay, so I'm hearing ticking, it's probably a bug, but Steve said the little people who are very violent and can get in your head, they make a tick, 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 and they're communicating. So we gotta go. Yeah.
Are you being serious?
Yes. He said if you come across the little people, they're as tall as these shrubs, they go tick, 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 tick.
I was hearing it, I don't know.
He said that's them communicating with each other, they're very violent. And he said they're 2 feet tall, they're as tall as the shrubs,
and they were brought here by aliens. You guys heard that tick, tick, tick?
We didn't know what we heard, but we all acknowledged that we definitely heard something ticking in the bushes.
He said they get in your head, you'll be running away, and you'll be on the side of a cliff, and then something will say turn left, and you just walk off the side of the cliff. He said it's happened to people. The little people get in your head.
When we got back to the church, the ladies decided this place was way too spooky, so they dipped.
That was scary.
Should we go grab dinner first?
Yeah.
You heard it?
Yes, that's why I fucking ran,
Okay,
Harley.
did you hear it?
I didn't even look back at you guys to see if you were coming.
That's so scary.
Let's get out of the side of this motorcycle so he doesn't get any ideas to come in.
And just like that, it was me and Chris, alone, after dark, in the middle of nowhere. That's when I realized something. I forgot the lantern. The one that I specifically bought for our investigation that night, and the one that we wouldn't be able to see a damn thing without. It was still sitting on my kitchen table at home, right where I'd left it that morning. I felt like an idiot. I'd been so laser focused on just getting the shot that I forgot the one thing we'd actually need after dark. So since we were planning to be out there all night anyways, we figured the best move was for me to just go home and grab it real quick. I'd be gone 2 hours max. The only catch? That meant leaving Chris at the church, alone and at night.
So right now I'm all alone here in the church. Patrick went to go and get the lantern that we forgot and needed. Don't mind my buddy there.
Already we were breaking Steve's rule of not separating.
Okay, so Patrick left. As you can see, it's totally pitch black. The only light emanating is from the church on the inside. So I'm gonna stay here, lock it up.
And he even reassured me that he'd use the downtime to get a head start on the investigation in the church.
Might do an EVP session while Patrick is gone. Here for 2 hours. I don't know what to expect. I got the ghost hunting equipment. Patrick went to go get some lot more lights because it's pitch black, as you saw earlier. Yeah, so that's what this is for.
And it's a good thing he did, because what happened next, we still don't have an explanation for it.
Dude, I'm kind of freaking out right now. I kind of want to keep my voice down just because I don't know if there's anyone here or what is going on. But I'm literally just setting up. I was going to do a solo session and try to contact, but I heard like someone was trying to open the door. Patrick's not supposed to be back yet. We have a code. I'm honestly, I don't know. Something about this just, it's giving me the chills. That's for sure. I'm about to go dark. I'm gonna go do an EMF session by myself out here in the church. So we're just gonna turn off all the lights. Yeah, this is kind of creepy. Dude. Next time you see me, you'll see me with the setup. We're about to start the session here. We just got to turn it on. I did put a capo here and over there in the middle of the aisle. See if there's anything around me. If I can capture anything around me. Here we go. All right. And off the bat, it's already active. All right. Here, we're gonna call. Hello, spirits, or whoever's roaming around the Superstition Mountains and this museum. I call upon you to communicate with you, not to harm you, you not to harm me. I am here to listen. I am here to understand. And more importantly, I am here to communicate. I'm here to communicate with the good spirits. And again, I mean no harm. And what I did is there's cat balls all in the middle of the aisle, and there's cat ball here. So if you're here with me and you're listening, move one of the cat balls for me, please. Okay. If you're here, walk up to this meter, have it go off. Dude, it's going off. That's crazy. Okay. Who am I speaking with? Is this the Peralta family? I know they said they also speak Spanish, which is convenient. Buenas tardes, todos los que están aquí en Superstition Mountains. Aquí estoy para escucharlos. Aquí estoy para escucharlos. Aquí estoy para comunicar con uno mismo. Si están aquí, pueden empujar esa pelota que está aquí o la que está para allá. Y pueden venir a hablar conmigo. No los quiero dañar. Igualmente, no quiero que me dañen a mí. So, por favor, vengan aquí y hablen conmigo. Están aquí los Peraltas. Can I speak with someone that is here? If anyone is here with me, please come and communicate through here. Bro, it just went off. I really hope that the camera caught that. Who am I speaking with? Am I speaking with one of the children? Estoy hablando con la familia Peralta. O me estoy comunicando con algo más. Algo no humano. Por favor, comuníquese conmigo. Am I here speaking with someone with the Peralta family? If you can please come again and go ahead and touch this and around here. Bro. You guys are seeing this, right? Man. This is creepy. There's just unsettling feeling knowing that there's no one here on this ranch other than me. Not even Patrick. I can't even share this experience with him. And I really hope they show themselves again. ¿Ustedes están aquí? Are you guys here? Dude, it keeps going off. What the heck?
All right, I have to pause the video right here because when I was listening back to this while editing this segment, I noticed a noise that I did not recognize. Now, the audio that you just heard was coming directly from the microphone that Chris was holding in his hand. But if we switch camera angles and we listen to the microphone that was on the camera directly in front of and above Chris, you'll hear something interesting. If you have headphones, let me know if you hear what I hear.
Are you guys here? Dude, it keeps going off. What the heck? First of all, thank you for coming here and talking with me. Is there things that I should fear here? Are you guys friendly? If I turn off the lights, will you show yourself? Can you make yourself heard? Knock on the wall, knock on the door. Make a noise so I can hear you.
I pulled back into the property at 9 p.m. and I had to use this specific access road just to get onto the property with my truck at night. But since it was pitch black, I could not see a damn thing. It was eerily dark. And since my truck's windows are tinted, I had to literally roll down my window and physically poke my head out of the truck just to see where I was driving. And I tell you what, I've never felt so uneasy driving down a dirt road at night. It felt like there was something in every bush and every shadow just watching me, waiting to pounce at any moment. Now this next part's not on camera and you'll see why in a second, but I feel like it's worth telling you. When I pulled up to the church at night, for some reason I just wasn't thinking. I parked exactly where I was at the end of the parking lot in front of the church, but when I turned off my truck, I sat there and could not bring myself to open the truck door. I don't think I anticipated just how unsettling the darkness is out there. And if you've never been out there, I don't think words could possibly describe the feeling that you get of just uneasiness, just feeling like something's watching you from everywhere all at once. So I got this wise idea that, hey, what if I pull out my iPhone, hit record, and just vlog me getting out of my truck and walking into the church? And I kid you not, my phone was working just fine, but when I went to open the camera app and I would go to the video setting, if you have an iPhone, you know exactly what I mean. You go to video, when I hit the record button, nothing would happen. And so like I restarted my phone, I restarted the app, I opened the app again, I took photos. Nothing about that photo button or record button was working, but everything else on the phone worked just fine. And so I literally sat there for like 5 minutes trying to figure out how to record while sitting in my truck, all while at the same time feeling like a sitting duck in the middle of nowhere at night, not being able to see anything other than this vague shape of a church in the distance. So eventually I gave up and I called Chris and I explained that I'm too afraid to leave my truck. So I asked if he would take Steve's golf cart, which is right outside the door of the church, and drive it to pick me up in my truck while I illuminated the entire parking lot with my truck's high beams. True story. And when I finally got back inside, Chris informed me of some good news.
So, Chris, we are right now recording on the lens that we assume broke earlier today. And as you can see, Chris going in and out of focus, it is working just fine.
It's crazy because it's like we literally, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. We haven't tampered with it. It was in its bag, right? After we found out that it wasn't working, we just had to set it to the side, which makes no sense. ever since getting here, it feels like nothing makes sense. It's just so many anomalies that you could just even feel here. And quite honestly, I mean, it's what right now, 9:48, 9:50, about to be 10, and we still got a few more hours of this.
After settling back in, Chris and I had come up with a plan of attack for the rest of the night. And the plan was simple. We decided that around 11 to 11:30, we'd make our way back out to the crematorium area where we were at during the day. Once we got out there, we'd film a short behind the scenes podcast, nothing too long, just something extra for Patreon. And then around midnight, we'd bust out the spirit box, start the investigation, maybe hike one of those haunted trails that Steve was telling us about, and see where the night takes us. But before we got rolling, we hit another snag. I realized that our camera memory cards were already running low on space. The only problem is, just like my lantern, I also just now realized I forgot my computer at home. At this point, I was beyond frustrated with myself because it was already way too late for me to just disappear for another 2 hours. So we only had one option available. I had to call Kate, my fiance, who left because she was too spooked and had probably just gotten home, and essentially beg her to come back out here and bring my computer to us. She was understandably reluctant, but ultimately she agreed to bring it out to us. So we figured, because I couldn't record earlier on my iPhone, why not take this as the time to document just how creepy this darkness is. So it's about 11 p.m. right now. My fiance is almost here. But we realized as soon as it gets dark out here, it is pitch black. We're already pretty freaked out. So
Show us the darkness. Let's see what's on the other side. Dude, just so they...
This cart is fucked out here if we don't have these lights. So the good thing we brought these video lights. They're magnetic.
All right.
And as Chris and I found ourselves driving around this dark parking lot waiting for Kate to arrive, Steve called me. So I put him on speakerphone. Steven, it's ironic you just called me because I just got into the parking lot. We're driving the car right now. We're vlogging right now. So what's up?
Oh, you're out of there already, yeah?
No. We're going out for the night and we're vlogging us getting out. And you just called right when we got into the cart.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's cool. You're on speaker right now. You're on camera.
Hey, so how's everything going?
The thing is, this hadn't been the first time since Steve left that he called me. In fact, he was calling me from sunset every hour on the hour just to check and see if we were still all right.
Okay, so everything's fine, no problems?
We're doing good so far, my man.
Okay, great.
But thank you for checking on us once again.
No, I just want to make sure everything's okay. You have any problems? And actually, just my only bet is just make sure you lock that back door.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll lock it before we leave. Definitely.
All right, you guys gonna stay till like 12, 1 o'clock or so?
I thought we were gonna stay past witching hour. Yeah. We'll probably be here at sunrise and then leave around sunrise.
You want to be out of there before, at least by 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay?
Yeah. Perfect.
I appreciate it.
Thank
take
you.
Care. Let me get back with me. Let me know what you find, and yeah, I'd like to see what you guys pick up out there.
I love it. All right. Talk to you soon. And it almost seems like he was surprised we were still wanting to stay out there. And look, on one hand, it made me feel like he genuinely cared, and I appreciated the hospitality, genuinely. But on the other hand, the constant checking in, the seeming like he might be worried about us for one reason or another, it was kind of starting to freak me out, not gonna lie. But regardless, Kate showed up and we got the computer, and this is when Chris asked me for a quick update on what I was feeling. Oh, you want me to do it right now?
Yeah. Here's good lighting.
Okay. So we got the goods. She's gonna go get us an energy drink real quick. I can't see shit because this light's in my face. It's pitch black out here. I have my computer right here. I'm scared as balls, but the stars are very bright tonight. We're gonna be out back there. We're gonna do a behind the scenes podcast
right back there, right under Superstition Mountain, before we start this investigation. And that podcast is gonna be us talking about our experience behind the scenes, only on the Patreon, which you can join by going to soweird.com.
All right, Chris, so we're waiting on Kate right now, but I want to hear from you while we're out here before we start this investigation, kind of like, what are some of your thoughts for today, and how has today gone so far, and what are your thoughts going into this investigation?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like today has been the messiest due to just random occurrences that has been going on, whether it's this very lens breaking on us and then magically working, to where I did a solo EMF session in there and the EMF reader kept going off like crazy. So in my mind, I just kind of keep repeating saying, I'm only inviting good spirits, good entities in, and to make communication, because the last thing I want is to be followed back home, or worse, just be followed here by something that is unwanted.
I'm curious, are you like freaked out at all about like being in the dark, but also outside up there, like not even by these buildings?
That is something, it's just like my inner kid or something just freaking the freak out whenever I just see total and complete darkness out there. Just because I don't know what's out there. It feels like something is watching us, and the only thing I know is I don't want to be here alone by myself in the dark with nowhere to go. I don't know about you, but it's just hard to put into words other than just fear.
So from here, we were basically all systems go.
So yeah, I guess we're not waiting on anything other than us, right?
Yeah.
So
Take the tripods, go out there.
So I want to do let's take at least one bag.
Yeah, let's take your backpack just because it's
Smaller.
Yeah.
I'll bring the cinema lenses. What will we probably need? We'll probably need these. Spirit box. Spirit box.
Where did we put that? I know we had it.
The weird part is, Chris and I specifically remember me packing this thing into my book bag that we had with us. So we started searching everywhere for this thing.
It's not in the front of your bag?
No.
At this point, we just needed to save the investigation. So while I was searching in the church, Chris said he was gonna go outside and look in my truck to see maybe if we took it out of my bag inside of the truck.
Let me check the car. Can you unlock it?
Yeah.
And while he was out there, I felt like he was gone for like 5 to 10 minutes, to where I was actually starting to worry a little bit. Like, is he all right out there? Like, surely it doesn't take that long to look and see if the spirit box is in the truck. And then that's when Chris came into the door very quickly, and I could see like his lips were trembling, like he was actually afraid of something. And the words out of his mouth were,
Yo, there's like another car right here.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, it's Steve.
It's just me.
Oh, you freaked Chris the f out.
Oh, my girlfriend came pick up her dogs, and so
You want to hang out with us
I
tonight?
can hit her for a few minutes.
Thank you. You want to hang out with us during the investigation?
I don't know. I just
Okay.
come by here and it was that, or stay at home and watch TV till I go to bed.
Well, we were a little freaked out and we were about to head out, but we're freaking.
Oh, you are? What happened?
No, I mean, we get easily spooked, so
Oh,
we're about to
okay.
head out there, up there,
Yeah,
with a
well,
bunch of lights and
It'd
cameras.
be a good time to go up there. You know, there's. You
Come
guys
out there
seeing
with
stuff
us.
Out there?
Come out there with us.
Yeah, I can go up there.
Okay, cool. We like having third people here because our other friends
You guys
checking
been
out.
looking up? Have you seen anything out of the normal?
No,
up
we want to get out there. That's why, because it looks the stars are so bright out
there?
here.
You know, it's a good night to do.
We're actually about to do a behind the scenes podcast,
Oh, go
so
ahead.
it's be perfect timing that you got here.
All right.
and what's funny is he could not have arrived at a more opportune time. And it's safe to say that just his presence there alone had already lightened the mood a little bit. I mean, Chris and I were starting to get a little tense, and I think it was because we were freaked out about going out there, just me and him.
Chris was so freaked out when you pulled up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, cool.
I was like, who's that?
I was wondering what took you so long, Chris.
For outside?
Yeah, I was like, is he okay out there?
Oh, you got a little lantern. Cool.
Now, from here on out, things started happening fast. I want you to experience this series of events play out exactly as we did, as if you were right there with us. So from this point moving forward, I'm gonna play everything as it unfolded, only cutting between the cameras or the mics that happen to be rolling in real time. I am lucky that Chris and I had already mic'd ourselves up by the time Steve arrived, because what happened next still keeps me up at night.
Let me grab some water.
The honors are yours. Drive us up to the spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you convinced us to stay until sunrise, so.
Patrick,
Yeah.
remember how you got the ghost box?
Yeah. Did you find the spirit box?
No, that's the weird thing.
Where you were using it, right?
No, I was using the EMF.
You guys got a spirit box?
You didn't find it in the car?
No.
All right, we're gonna grab it real quick.
Where would it have been? We did bring it, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure we brought it.
Yeah, because you were holding it, and then we made a comment about the batteries.
Check every pocket in that suitcase.
Okay.
Did you check every pocket of your bag?
Yes, I checked every pocket.
You're joking.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And you weren't using it in here?
No, I used the EMF. The EMF and cat balls. That's the only two things I used.
Do I call Kate and tell her to bring it?
Yeah. This gives us time, because we're going to do like 40 minutes over there, and then by the time she gets here.
I gotta have you call her. If I call her, she's gonna chew me out.
Okay. Hey, Kate. This is Chris. I'm using Patrick's phone. So, I hate to say this, but I think we forgot the ghost box at the house. Patrick's setting up, and I don't know if you'd be able to drop it off. You're already doing a lot, which we really appreciate.
I have a really terrible headache. I told Patrick this. Can I talk to him real quick?
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second.
Good. Are they in black and white or color?
Color.
Color.
And they
She
have
wants
flash.
to talk to you.
Hello?
Oh, I muted.
Hello? Oh, wait. Hello?
How dire is that thing?
It's mission critical. I don't know where I said, I had to have just left it on the counter.
I didn't see anything when I got to the house.
I mean, I'm sorry. And it's actually, it would be perfect timing because right when we were going to start the investigation, some car pulls up and it's Steve from earlier today. He wanted to see how we're doing. And so he's going to do this behind the scenes podcast like we did last night. We'll just do that right now. However, I could repay you. I owe you a ton if you're willing to bring this.
I'm not even home yet.
I know.
I'm still 20 minutes from home.
I know.
You're looking at an hour.
That's fine. An hour would be perfect. It'd be perfect timing. And we're going to be here all night, so it's fine.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
My head just really fucking hurts, Patrick.
I know. I owe you. Drink coffee?
I'm not drinking coffee.
Okay. I owe you. Okay.
I'll text you when I'm on my way back.
Thank you. All right. We're good.
All right. Let me get the cameras. Your camera?
Camera, lantern.
Camera, lantern, camera, lantern.
Never even happened. All right. We're bringing my bag.
Keep the momentum. Keep the momentum.
Anyway, that girl, she said it looked like an old haggard lady, and that's what scared her.
Huh.
And she wouldn't come out of this Elvis chapel.
She saw that here.
She came all the way down here from Indiana with a paranormal group that wanted to lease the grounds to come out here to do an all-night session. And they brought some people from some other states with them, had all kinds of equipment. This lady said some mist. She saw it and it kind of moved towards her, but then a face appeared in it. And it looked like some old haggard lady. It scared her so bad. When she got back to the chapel, she didn't want to go back out. She goes, "You guys go, I'm gonna stay in here." She felt safe in there because of the cross on the church. She was that scared.
See, look, I can see perfectly at night. I'll show you when we get up there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you see this?
Yeah.
I can see so much.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll capture something.
And it'll be in full color, that's the thing.
Oh, sweet. Even better.
Chris was saying he thought he saw something poking out of the bushes when we were doing our interview.
Yeah. What the hell? Was it a little person?
I don't know. It was off in the mountains.
My friend Dana, his friend was up here with us, and he had his camera running, and he captured what he said were 3 humanoids. So I had to go. I went all the way into Gilbert to his house. It looked like, I kept thinking maybe it's those 3 children from that plane crash. But he goes, "No, Steve." I go, "Keep in mind they got mangled." He goes, "I know, but these things didn't look human at all." So I had to go down there and look at them. I still don't know what the hell I was looking at.
Chris, when we get there, I'm gonna have you switch mics with him.
Okay.
Just switch. You can use the same magnet. Just switch.
You got it.
Because yours has a dead cat.
Yeah.
Here we are. Can you pan your camera into theirs? Can you see anything with the lights not facing that way?
Chris, throw on anamorphic.
Okay.
It's in my
Bag.
50 in my bag.
Mm-hmm. And then, for the shot.
Yeah.
So she's bringing your spirit box.
Yeah.
You know what? My battery might be too weak, but I had some kind of app on here. See if I still do.
Let's switch mics.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, this is Steve. Any spirits out here with us? Want to come over here and say hi? Push play. What the hell? What the hell? Oh, here we go.
This is Steve. Any spirits out here with us? Want to come over here and say hi?
I'm not used to this damn thing. These little cheap apps.
Real quick, I'm gonna give you this mic.
Okay.
Perfect. See if this is perfect because I actually wanted to get a little bit more footage with you. Chris, I told you, remember that cinematic shot just getting his face looking stoic?
Yes.
We forgot to get that, so we can get that now with the 50. I want to have you guys face, so Chris, I want that background over there with his face looking stoic, and I'll light his face and with the 50 real quick. We'll do that.
Let's go ahead
and then I'll walk in there and see if we can see anything. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. You got 3 lights. What the hell is that above the flat iron? You got 3 star lights stacked on top of each other.
I see that.
I see that.
So what Steve was talking about there was a very specific alignment where Orion's belt was forming a vertical line and was poking right above the top of the mountain. I mention this because we're going to get this on camera a little bit later at a very opportune moment. So be on the lookout for this. I'm gonna hold this. Grab one of those headlights off the,
Oh, that is the mountain. You almost miss it because of the lights beneath it. You forget that the mountain's there.
Okay, set this here. Let me do this.
All right, Steve, you want to come stand right here, and we'll get a shot of those 3 stars that you were talking about over your head.
I've never seen that setup alignment over that mountain before.
All right, I'll hold this light. Get closer. All right, Steve, can we have you face the camera? We're gonna get a couple of shots of your head, of your face. Just get closer. I want a tighter shot. And then focus on his face. Okay, that works. It would have been nicer with the mountain in the background during the day, but we got a lot of those shots earlier today. Yeah. All right, cool.
It's nice out here now.
Yeah. You want to see me go back there and see if we can see anything?
Hold on.
I'll go back there
Did
with
you
that
hear that?
lantern.
What did you hear?
It sounded like either a moaning or a howl. That's
Oh, it's a motorcycle.
Okay, kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
You ever just come out here, Steve, just by yourself?
Yeah, we have weddings and receptions up here, out here, and sometimes I have to stay up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I come up here, and there's been so many times I'll hear footsteps running up to the golf cart, and that's usually a go sign to get the hell out of here. That happens a lot. I'll set up here, and I'll hear, clearly you hear them walking, and it gets a little nerving and get a little freaky out and stuff.
Yeah. Do you think, Chris, you want to get this shot of me walking up there? So I'll carry the lantern. You think we should get one of me walking by myself and then one with him walking up there?
Yeah. So
Okay.
what we can do, just to keep it simple, is we can just walk up here, and then
Okay.
I'll just.
As you're walking.
No, I want to go through the shrubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay on that little
And
trail.
I want you directly behind me. So
Stay on
I
that trail.
don't get off the trail. So you're
No,
saying?
until you get to the top where it's cleared away from the brush.
Because there's a bunch of.
I'm always concerned about snakes, and I know they're out here.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this camera with me.
Just be careful.
And then you follow behind me. Get close. I want maybe 10 feet behind me. I want to see from my butt up, and I want to. You'll see the flares. Okay.
Okay.
Chris, can you grab that?
The other light.
I just want to see if what's in focus real quick. Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna. Then you could probably no. I'm gonna turn this off.
Just
while
so
I
we can
hold
get
it.
that straight lantern.
Yeah. Okay.
So from the butt up.
You said, Steve, that this is the trail?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, don't get too far behind me, 10 feet. A little bit closer. Shit, I can't see jack. Fuck.
Same.
Let me set this down real quick. All right.
All right. I'm protected. If there are any good spirits out here, we come here in peace. We want to just document your message. We come here in peace, mean you no harm, and we are protected, and we only want to talk to positive spirits, no negative ones. I'm protected by the light of God, the universe. Steve?
Yeah.
Keep going?
Oh, sure.
Or no? How far should I go?
I'll come up here with you.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, sure.
Walk with me, Chris. Keep her to.
Yep, walking.
As long as I'm on the trail, I'm good, right?
As long as he's on the trail, he's good, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, I'm a little spooked. Slightly just because I can't see Jack.
Yeah, or right behind you.
I know Chris is behind me. I know my fans are behind me. I know I got the support of the fan base behind me. I got SoWeird.com behind me. I got the Superstition Mountains beside me. I got my man Steve coming up to support me. We walking through here. I hear footsteps behind me, but that's just Chris and Steve. And we're good. We are good. Not that Steve didn't tell me that there's
a do a spirit box session up here.
Good thing we're gonna get one here in a little bit. It's
You keep going.
breathtaking. It's not like Steve told me there was a body up here or anything.
I'll show you where it's at.
Oh my goodness. Unconfirmed, of course.
Because then police would have to get involved.
How's the lens flares looking, Chris?
Spicy.
Amazing.
This is why we go anamorphic.
This is where we should set up the podcast, but we can't get enough. Well, we probably could get enough light, to be honest. Yeah, we could. We could.
Wow. Getting up to the soft top of this.
See the Pleiades?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. You ever come out here at night?
Yeah, I've been up here a few times at night.
It almost feels like your backyard, huh? Because you live right here.
Yeah, I mean, it only took me 10 minutes to get here.
It's awesome.
Okay. Where is that? I can't see that. Maybe that's up here. You can see someone buried.
I'm hearing something
We
behind
kept
me or not.
suspecting a body
It's kind of
because we know there's 6 people buried on our property. Okay, I can't really see from here. Where the heck is that cactus? Maybe it's a little further ahead.
This is a perfect night to see a UFO. Even seeing the Phoenix lights from here would be amazing.
You have a laser?
Oh, just watching that mountain. Oh, good. Seeing something
Chris.
at the very top.
Now, here. Oh, is that's fine. Okay. So, You can't tell, but the Superstition Mountain is behind me. It looks so ominous in the dark. I'll tell you why, because we got this neighborhood right here and you can see the lights from the houses. But what's crazy is just the lights. What's crazy is that the mountain just looks completely black. You almost think it's the night sky, but then you realize, oh, it's black because that's the mountain right there. It's almost like this dark shadow overlooking this entire community. And you can feel the energy out here for sure.
I think it's over here. You got your lantern. Go walk
Flash
over
it
here.
over.
That is it.
I'm gonna go walk out here, Chris.
Right there.
All right.
There's a mound right next to that saguaro. In front of you.
I see it. You think that's a body, huh?
Yeah.
And that wasn't always there,
It's been there for a while.
but it just
If it
randomly.
wasn't there, then it was. It was fresh dirt piled up here, and it's been eroded down. We think something buried here. More than likely a person.
Chris, get this angle. Try to get the mound, so get level and see if you can get the elevation of the dirt. Come over on this side where I am. So this is on the right third. There we go. Try to see if you can get the mound behind it. So, I mean, that would be very disrespectful to walk anywhere on top of it.
I have, only because I had a metal rod and I was trying to probe down in there and I kept hitting something, not solid, but I kept hitting something, and that really creeped me out. And so when I first started work here over 9 years ago, it wasn't there. I came up here about a year later and this mound was there. It was a little higher, and I kept, you know, figuring, wow, somebody was digging, but look, no, somebody actually dug something up and buried, because I know right on the other back end where you come in, the back way of our property, there was a body there, and they exhumed it, and the person that found out was murdered and buried there, and they estimated about 15, 20 years ago. So this was a place where people used to get rid of bodies out here.
Wow.
Well, before all these homes, this was a prime place. The only thing that was around was Goldfield Ghost Town right down there. You can see down, you can get a good view of Goldfield from here.
What is that blinking light on up there? That's not a star.
No.
On
I think
top
that's
of
the
the
same
mountain.
thing I was looking at.
I saw it blink multiple times, and now it just disappeared. It's blinking out.
Yeah, I see it right there on the top of that mountain.
What is that?
I don't know. We get weird things like that up there a lot. According to the Apaches, it's the spirit of their dead. But you listen to other people, they said they're spirits, but not just their dead. Their energy. Sometimes you see these orbs, they'll light up like a giant headlight and then implode in and go out. That is pretty bizarre, isn't it?
Right there. That is
Can your camera view that from here, or can you
Maybe.
pick that up with your camera?
It's right there, though. That little dot right there. That's crazy. It's like dimming. I can't tell my eyes are myself. Whoa.
Yo. Set it down. I'm going to try to light it, see if you can get a better view of the mound with this light. And I'll add a couple lens flares. Almost get it to the ground. Can you see the
elevation?
The fuck?
What?
That rock just landed right there.
What rock?
To the ground. Can you see the
elevation?
Fuck?
What?
That rock just landed right there. To the ground. Can you see the
elevation?
fuck?
What?
That rock just landed right there.
What rock?
This rock
one.
right here. It just landed right here, and it fucking landed.
What?
Yes.
You serious?
I'm dead.
What the fuck?
Grab the lantern.
Come here, stop. Don't run anymore.
All right.
Don't run no more. Where's your flashlight?
Right here.
Son of a bitch, dude.
Did you get caught?
Where'd it go?
It's right there.
Where?
A little bit up left in one of those mounds right there in the holes.
Grab the lantern.
All right.
I hear something running.
There it is. It's a small little rattlesnake.
Okay.
It's a western diamondback.
Okay.
See the tail?
Oh my God.
These things are very dangerous because he's a baby. He can't control his venom. So when they bite, they're giving you everything.
If you're wondering why I'm breathing so hard, it's because at this point, out of the three of us, I'm still the only one who physically saw with my own eyes a large rock smack the dirt in front of my face. And I saw exactly where it came from. It came from the darkness on the other side of where the mound of dirt was right in front of us. But after that second rock hit the dirt that made all of us jump at the same time, what you didn't see is that right as I was about to go run, Steve yanked me from the back of my hoodie with all of his might. Apparently, I was inches away from stepping on this baby rattlesnake that Steve luckily spotted right before I was about to step on it and thought to grab my hoodie and yank me back. But at this moment, as Steve is pointing out the rattlesnake that Chris apparently saw too, it becomes clear to me that they think I'm freaking out about the snake, when in reality, I'm freaking out about the rock and the footsteps.
I seen you starting to walk right towards it. That's why I grabbed and pulled you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fuck with you. Get the hell out of here, little bastard.
Grab the lantern and let's get out of here.
Get out of here.
Something doesn't want us here.
Yeah.
You swear a rock got thrown?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, let's go.
Right that same time that fucking snake appeared.
Yeah,
That's not a good omen at all.
You got to help him with the trail. I don't know where it is.
I told you rocks get thrown over here. You're serious, a rock got thrown?
Yes.
Fuck.
And it's like right when we acknowledge the light over there.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Now you guys are freaking me out. What the fuck?
You good?
Now a scorpion. I got everything out here right now. Little fucker.
Wow.
Shit, there's all kinds of weird things out here.
These are just critters. I can deal with critters.
Keep your eyes to the ground.
Okay.
Actually, they come out, they're moving.
Okay.
That freaked me out. I thought
Is
you were
this
gonna
the
get
trail?
bit.
This is the trail, right?
This is the trail, right?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yeah, in a panic, don't run into this brush.
Yeah, just stay on the trail.
You got babies, you got mom and dad around
Where's
here
the
too.
big flashlight, Chris? Did I give it to you? The big flashlight.
The big flash. Steve has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
Wow.
Man, freaked me out. You know, a fucking rock getting thrown?
It was a big rock, and it
Jeez.
landed.
I guess they want us out of here.
I saw it kick up dirt when
you know
it
that's
landed.
weird? The rock and then the rattlesnake all at the same time.
I don't want to get too far ahead of you guys.
Yeah, you're good. Stay kind of close.
That was weird.
That was really weird.
Okay. Chris, catch up. It was at this moment I had a tough decision to make. Either we pack up shop, get back in that golf cart, and drive back to the church, which to me felt like giving up before we even started, or we stay, do what we came to do. Little did I remember, we were still in their territory, and whatever this thing wasn't done with us yet. Okay. All right, Chris, I'm gonna change lenses real quick on my camera.
Okay.
Keep recording.
You got it.
All right.
Keep recording.
Oh. All right. Thank you for the light. Yeah, thank you.
I was watching you bend down. You're talking about this rock being thrown, and you're looking down at it, and you started to move forward, and that's when I grabbed the back of your sweater. I just happened to look down with your foot, and I saw that rattlesnake. That's why when you turned to run, I grabbed your sweater. I didn't want you to walk in front of it. It scared the shit out of me.
Oh my goodness.
You know, the babies are much worse than the adults. It's hard to believe that, but they can't control their venom. When they bite, they're giving you everything they got. Now, full-grown rattlesnake knows better because it may need to bite again. So it'll give you only small amounts at a time. Babies, yeah, that could have been dangerous.
I'm glad you were here because honestly, we're dumb. We would have gone there and set up camp and started podcasting.
With that rattlesnake
Yeah,
next to you.
yeah, I'm serious.
Wow. Does get your adrenaline going, doesn't it?
Yes. Wow. Chris.
Yes.
I didn't expect that adrenaline rush, I'll tell you that.
I thought I heard a thud sound, but I wasn't sure if that was one of you
Chris,
guys.
come here, look, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I looked down, oh you
what?
freaked me out with the quick,
Out of
no
sight.
twitchy movements, okay?
I'm just trying to get framed.
I was looking down because I was telling you to set the camera down and get a better angle. As I kind of stepped to your side, I'm right next to you, right where I'm looking down as an example for you to look down next to set your camera, where I was using an example, a rock, come closer and I'll show you. A rock about this size.
Whoa.
Lands in the dirt like this. Just like
You're
that.
Serious? Wow.
1 foot in front of me.
Now my skin's
1 foot in front of me.
I heard the rock.
And then that's when the rattlesnake happened because we were freaking out.
That was more than a coincidence, I think. Maybe he's trying to warn you. It's really hard to, I don't know what the hell.
All right.
I know is that property over here can be weird. You guys can get a lot of activity here too, but hopefully no more rattlesnakes. You can throw rocks all you want. Just don't send out any more rattlesnakes or anything else that bite. That's creepy.
This beats taking care of some dogs, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And all they were doing was trying to lick themselves, but they can't because they got cones around their neck. It was funny. I'm sitting there watching them. They're trying to lick and scratch because they got their stomach, you know, where they do the surgery. And they were, you know, trying to get at it and they couldn't because they had cones on their head, around their neck. I got one of the dogs fucking high. He was sitting there next to me. I'm sitting in the recliner. I'm sitting there smoking a joint. And for whatever, I just kept blowing my smoke at him. Next thing you know, he's in there trying to eat all kinds of food.
Okay.
He got the munchies or something.
I think we should go down and try to see if Kate's anywhere near. What do you think? Or you want to stay up here and do the podcast real quick?
Stay up here, do
Okay.
the podcast.
Cool.
Her location?
Does she know how to get in the back way?
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
Oh, she's calling me.
Man, that really.
Hello? Hey, are you here?
No, I'm at home.
There's no spirit box.
There's no spirit box here. There's the box that the spirit box was in.
Because I
but
could have
there's no
sworn I
spirit
packed
box.
it.
Well, there was a box with the spirit box. You sure you
I
didn't
put
pack it?
batteries in it and I put it in. There's something out there. Okay, all right, Kate, we're coming. Okay.
We're gonna go back.
We're gonna go back. Yeah.
Wait, what did you see?
I heard running. I heard running footsteps. Let's
Crap.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Where are we going?
Grab the back
Back where?
to the church.
Okay, now you're freaking me out.
Yeah, let's go.
Told you this place gets weird. It gets weirder.
Yeah, I'm out.
Right here, the only thing that I'm thinking at this moment, why is this cart not going faster?
You guys want to schedule a time to come here at night, have all your equipment out here, and just come out here to do a night paranormal session, and you can do your podcast. I still think you should have a spirit box, some way of communicating. Or if not, you're going to get rocks thrown at you and maybe something weird. That creeped me out. Then I had my skin,
Oh, gosh.
I had my hair standing up.
Oh gosh.
Chris, were you recording when we left?
I'm recording everything.
Okay. No, straight up, we're driving right now, and I'm gonna tell you, I said let's go because I heard a scurry from a bush to a bush. I heard a scurry, and then I heard it again when you said, what are you talking about? So we need to go. Yeah, we need to get to the church. Oh gosh.
Now your girlfriends and stuff, are they brave enough to go up there? And
No, she will not. She's on the phone right now and she's probably flipping her shit. Yeah, she's on speaker right now.
Hi. Women, they have some, they will come to women. They will communicate and other creepy stuff. Oh, that was weird.
Let's get to the church.
Yeah, you need to bring your spirit box, because I was hoping you guys, if you do, next week I can have the barn open, because this is a guy I want you guys to communicate with.
Okay.
I'm going to show him to you right now.
We can always come back next week.
That guy right there.
Yeah?
We've had so many people that never seen this picture in the barn said they saw a man with a white beard. That's him. His ashes are in the barn.
His ashes are in the barn.
Yeah. By request of his wife.
Huh. Okay. I want a GTFO.
Oh, rocks, footsteps.
Yes.
That creeps me out.
Yeah. It's time to get out.
When you hear multiple footsteps and they're like all around you, that means they're surrounding you.
No, I heard them before we walked back from the trail, and then I heard them when we got back to the cart because we were just talking.
That's not good.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I thought I heard footsteps.
No, I
up the
heard
trail.
them.
What did I tell you about a half hour ago? The footsteps. You'll hear them because you're walking on gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does get your hair stand on end, and it makes you get scared real fast.
Those were tiny footsteps. I'm telling you, those were tiny footsteps.
That's even worse.
And they were fast.
Whoa.
And there was two. It was a.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Keep recording.
Elvis still freaks me out.
Yes.
I come in here and I see his face. I think, what the hell? Nothing's inside there.
Kate, I'll call you back, but I'll be texting you updates. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye. She's worried about us. I'm. All right. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. I'm recording.
Don't you feel a little more calm and ease in here? Still a little nervous, but this is it's like sanctuary here.
What time is it?
Because of this place, it's 12:35.
I'm a pussy.
When you guys come back, work out a time to come back here. Bring some recruits with you.
Chris, the hair on the back of my neck is standing up is an understatement. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up, and so is the hair on my lower back for that means.
I can feel my hair standing on end.
Guys, I'm telling you, listen. When we were out there, I felt fine. I almost started to feel like we'll be cool out here. We're chilling. Me and Chris didn't think we were going to find anything.
Right.
I'll be honest. The spirit box was for theatrics.
Right.
I'm not joking. I thought I heard some footsteps when we first got out there, but it was just, I thought I heard something. It could have been, we've been seeing bunny rabbits all day, right?
Well, bunny rabbits don't make a noise when they're walking on gravel. Yeah.
So listen, we got multiple shots on the ground of that mound that you were telling us about.
Right.
But I had a different type of lens. I wanted him to use his lens. So I was, yeah.
What's weird you set the cameras, we're focused on that mound. And the mound was the center of the time up there. And as soon as you started getting ready and you started doing stuff, the rock gets thrown and that rattlesnake appears out of nowhere, right next to your foot. And you know, when you're pointing down, you're pointing at a rock. I'm over here looking, I was going, really, you serious? And then right when you started to move forward, wouldn't he come out of a hole?
It looked like it.
Because I was standing right where that thing was at, and I had moved away.
I feel like, we were there for like a cool minute, just standing there in that spot.
Unless that tiny snake, that was a small snake, unless that thing can chuck a rock this big, and it's not like the rock slid on the ground. It wasn't just flung across the ground. This thing came down to the ground with velocity. It kicked up dirt and it landed 1 foot in front of me the moment I looked down to tell Chris where to put the camera.
Like I told you, there's something negative on that side of that fence.
Okay.
We've seen this gentleman, we call him a gentleman, but there was nothing gentleman about it. It was about 7 foot tall, no facial features at all.
All right, pause. I need to cut in here because at this point, I don't think Steve actually heard what I heard. He's so focused on this rattlesnake, and now he's talking about some giant Brillo man. But what I was trying to say, and what I needed him to hear, was that this was something entirely different. And maybe that's on me. You know, maybe it was the adrenaline coursing through my veins that made it hard to get the words out, but I cannot stress this enough. The footsteps I heard were not normal footsteps. They weren't from a normal-sized human spirit walking around checking out what we were doing up there, and they weren't from some giant 7 foot tall Brillo man. They were tiny, not like children's feet tiny. I'm talking 2 inches from front to back tiny. All right. And they were running very fast. And the way that they were sprinting on the gravel, I could hear them, and the sheer force that these feet were hitting the ground with, it reminded me of like an Olympic sprinter. But because these things are smacking the dirt so hard, so fast, and with such rapid succession, going from bush to bush, I could tell very distinctly that these were coming from very small feet. And I know it sounds crazy, but that is what I heard. And the craziest part of all is that I heard them on 3 separate occasions. The first time being right when Steve saw the rattlesnake.
In one of those mounds right there in the holes.
Grab the lantern.
All right.
I hear something running.
There it is. It's a small little rattlesnake.
Okay.
It's a western diamondback.
So he was more focused on the rattlesnake, and I was hearing these coming from the direction of where I saw the rock get thrown from. And the second and third time were when we were on speakerphone with Kate back at the golf cart, and you even see the moment when I heard it clear as day.
That's it.
There was a box with the spirit box. You sure you
I
didn't
put
pack
batteries in it, and I put it in. There's something out there. Okay, all right, Kate, we're coming. Okay. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. Yeah.
Wait, what did you see?
I heard running. I heard running footsteps. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
These footsteps ran from one shrub closer to us than where we were standing during the day. It ran across that sidewalk to another shrub. And then right when I said, there's something out there, we need to go, and Steve said, what? You're freaking me out, man. You're giving me goosebumps. You're freaking me out. I said, Steve, hit the gas. Right when I said, Steve, hit the gas, the footsteps made a beeline from where I heard them run to, now straight towards us at the golf cart at the exact moment that Steve starts pulling away.
Wait, what did you see?
I heard running. I heard running footsteps. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Where are we going?
Grab the back.
Back where?
To the church.
Okay, now you're freaking me out.
Yeah, let's go.
Told you this place gets weird.
And to me, I heard these footsteps so loud and clear that I still don't know how Steve and Chris weren't reacting the same way I was. Because if they'd heard what I heard, we wouldn't be standing around talking about snakes.
That's, I'm going to 1000% say, a paranormal experience that I had.
Right.
Because we've been talking about little people all day. Right. It was the one thing I came in, I've been talking about all week, I'm afraid of, because I heard you talk about them once.
You know, when you see one, you know, I heard a lot of stories from the Apaches, enough to get me a little scared, but really kind of getting my interest piqued and stuff. And, you know, when they tell you about what these things do, and they're everywhere, they live in holes in the ground. I mean, they come out at night to feed. So they hear one or see one at night. When we were on the Peralta Trail, this was about 11 o'clock at night. When it was after 10, we went for a walk. And when we stopped, we seen this little thing with little legs running past. And her son, he's like 16 years old, and his friend Jason, they got scared. He goes, Mom, I want to get back to the trailer. My girlfriend at the time, she was scared to death. And then as they were leaving, I hear it making this like tick, 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 noises and stuff. So I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? But then I hear it again over here. And then another one over here. And I think they were communicating. And I kept walking backwards. I didn't want to turn around. I was so scared. I felt the moment I turned around, I'm going to get attacked. So I kept backing up. And once I got enough far away, I bolted. I ran in there. I knocked her son over going for my gun. And then I went over and closed the trailer. And I said, no one's going outside for the rest of the night. I think these things were getting ready to swarm on one of us. That's why I heard you don't ever go out by yourself.
Yeah,
doing
especially
things
at
like this
night.
At night.
Well, we almost went out, just me and him. Can you imagine? And we wouldn't have seen any signs. I wouldn't have seen that rattlesnake.
Well, I'm glad I was here.
It was meant to be. You kept checking on me for a reason.
I wanted to make sure you guys were fine. I mean, I've never really left anyone unattended for a long period of time. So I was getting a little worried. I was going, look, I told them about the snakes. I told them there's stuff up here that will communicate, but there's also some negative things up here that could probably cause problems.
I was straight up worried just being him. I was.
Okay.
Because we had 5 people. The 3 of them ditched us.
Why?
They're afraid.
Even that dude, the guy too?
He was like, oh, I gotta work at 7 a.m. It's Sunday. You don't have to work at 7 a.m. on Sunday.
By this point, the adrenaline was starting to crash, and deep down, I didn't feel safe going back out there.
I'm gonna tell you what, I don't think that thing wants us up there. I don't wanna go back up there tonight. We'll have to come back.
We gotta get a good whole team.
Our plan was to make it until sunrise, till witching hour at the latest. And here we were, barely after midnight, already talking about packing up shop. I felt like a failure.
Let's do a behind the scenes podcast, like 30 minutes in the church. Do you mind? The original plan that we wanted to do up there? Okay.
But at the end of the day, if our goal was to show up and document evidence of the paranormal, then yeah, we got it.
What if it was a sign with everything like breaking down and stuff?
Yeah. No, straight up, that counts.
Ghost box. I still can't.
Where's the ghost box? I know I packed it and it's not here.
Not in your backpack?
We checked everywhere. If you see it pop up, like.
And the thing is, I saw you grab it. That's why I'm.
Get the tripods, let's set up again.
You said right where you just least suspect it to be. I don't know if that snake situation in the rock was really weird.
And the footsteps, that's what got me.
You know, you'll hear those a lot too. I tell people
That's strike 3, footsteps.
And even though every fiber of my being wanted to pack my bags, jump in my truck, and drive away as fast as possible, there was still one thing left to do. The one thing that we've been trying to do ever since Steve arrived. And that was the behind the scenes podcast. So I set a 30-minute timer on my phone.
What we do for these, we set a timer. So today we'll set a 30-minute timer. Once it's done, we'll wrap it up.
We sat down in the church pews and we finally hit record. Once we left Steve at the church and we were finally out of that environment, we realized that before we could officially call it a night, there was still one shot we needed to get. So we pulled up to a local gas station and took care of business. And as we stood there, attempting to cleanse ourselves of negative energy, the smoke surprisingly felt soothing. A weight felt like it was finally lifting off our shoulders. And yes, we might have failed our mission to stay overnight, but in a place where people vanish or end up losing their heads, I'll take getting out alive over sticking to the plan. It wasn't quite the golden hour shot I had in mind, but at this point, I was just glad our heads were still attached. The mountain, however, had one last surprise for me. Because the next morning when I was back at home and unpacking everything we had from the night before, remember that spirit box that we were looking for? Well, it was right there in the top pocket of my book bag, right where I remembered packing it. Maybe we missed it, or maybe we weren't meant to find it until after we left. Either way, our journey would not end there, because less than 4 days later, Chris and I found ourselves back out in the Arizona desert, but this time with the Navajo Ranger hunting skinwalkers. And we recorded everything. So if you're not already subscribed, now's the time. And if you haven't seen episode 1 yet, the Phoenix Lights doc, you're gonna wanna watch that next. Because not only is it the most famous yet least talked about mass UFO sighting in modern history, but for the first time ever, We fully unpack what actually happened on March 13th, 1997, the top secret government cover-up, and the real-life men in black who swooped into Phoenix to erase the evidence. And you can watch the full documentary right here. This is the video that started this entire series.